Well, Elijah, it's almost time for another episode of Hot Takes.
Yes, it is. Wow.
Who could that be?
It's Luke Martin.
And welcome into Hot Takes with Carson and Stacks. We're back after a brief hiatus. We went back to lay in front of that Chick-fil-A that opened in Toronto again. So we're back from protesting that. I'm your host, Carson Anderson, as joined by always my host, Elijah Stacks. Elijah, how we doing?
Pretty good. Trying to get my notes pulled up.
Wow. And then this week we are joined by special guest Luke Martin.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Really stoked to be here.
Wow, a friend of the show.
Love the excitement there.
Lot of news to talk about this week. Before we get into it, gotta wish a happy birthday to our own co-host Elijah Stacks.
Whoa,
the Hot
thanks,
Takes
buddy.
turned 21 this week.
Wow, I made it.
So Elijah, big news happened last week. We'll go ahead and get right back into it.
Let's do it.
Miles, the degenerate.
Wow.
Garrett.
Not a fan of this guy.
You could go ahead and get your thoughts out on this because I know yours are a bit different than mine.
Why don't the Steelers fans get their opinions out first?
Okay, so
I'll be the voice of reason in the crowd. Thanks.
So Luke and I both Steelers fans. Luke, okay, were you watching the game last Thursday night?
I was, yeah.
Okay, so Mason Rudolph, not the best football player in the world. 4 picks.
Yeah, not great.
So at the end of the game, though, a little bit of a late hit by Myles Garrett on Rudolph, and then some tussling goes on the ground. Then Garrett proceeds to rip Mason Rudolph's helmet off and swing it at him like a club, something that could have turned very bad very quickly. If he would have hit him correctly, could have cracked his skull open. So Myles Garrett suspended indefinitely. The Browns already weren't going to make the playoffs. Now they're definitely not going to make the playoffs. He's their best player. What's the guy's name? Pouncey? Is it Mike? Marquise.
You don't know Pouncey?
Well, he has a twin brother.
Oh,
Mike Pouncey, yes.
Suspended 3 games, reduced to 2. Because he absolutely beat the living tar out of Garrett after this happened. Yeah, the 2 games.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
So, Luke, what was your first thought after this situation occurred?
I was astonished, blown away, did not see it coming. At first I thought he was dead. I thought Mason Rudolph had died. But then I saw him get up, he was fine. As soon as he got up, he was thrown back to the ground. So, I didn't know a lot had going on, but I wanted to see what initiated it. It did seem that Mason had a part in initiating the fight.
Yes, that's very accurate.
But I don't think it should have transpired to the point that it did.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, yeah, we all agree with that.
Well, I don't know if you do agree with that, because I was looking at Elijah's Twitter page. I saw a lot of O.J. Simpson retweets.
Likes.
Okay. He was liking O.J. Simpson's opinions on the whole situation.
Okay, and
just
you know what?
That just threw me off from the start.
Has this what this is taking to, Elijah, agreeing with O.J. Simpson?
I guess so, because I'll give you my unbiased opinion, because I'm not a fan of the Browns nor the Steelers. So here we go. First off, the late hit, quote unquote, to me wasn't that bad. It was he hit him as he was throwing it, maybe a second after.
Yeah.
But the rules of the game, you get 2 steps to hit him after he throws. That's the rule. And honestly, the slam, that one calls it the slam, that was the slowest slam of all time. It took like 3 seconds to get him on the ground. So at that point,
Normal football play.
And then at that point, I see Rudolph trying to take off and twist Garrett's head, which is honestly should have been a flag for him. That's sportsmanlike conduct.
I think they did. They probably did throw a flag on that.
I don't remember exactly. It was so confusing at the time.
I don't think they had time.
But the point is, he was getting a little bit handsy with Garrett, okay? And then Garrett gets up and he feels a little bit threatened, disrespected. So he starts pulling off Rudolph's helmet in one pull, by the way. So just right out the gate, showing up Rudolph, showing who's the man. And, okay, at this point, you have, I think it was DeCastro, he's pushing back Garrett into the end zone. This is a perfect time to de-escalate the situation and let things, go. You got 8 seconds left in the game, let it be done. But no, Rudolph has to get up and go get in Garrett's face again, which at that point, we of course know what happens. The helmet comes crashing down onto Rudolph's head. Yeah. My opinion of it is that Garrett acted in a bad way. Obviously, like he overreacted to the situation. So, but also I think I was upset because people weren't including Rudolph in the discussion of like what caused it. I think there should have been more talk about how he initiated this fight and then Garrett ended it, kind of a thing.
But there had to have been better sources than O.J. Simpson.
Hey, you know what? He's who I saw, and he was making a good point. He was saying, a good point. He was saying everyone's talking about Garrett, but like no one's talking about how Rudolph caused the fight, and he was trying to take off Garrett's helmet and also hit him in the nuts, by the way. So, like, what was he to do? You know, like, I mean, he shouldn't use the helmet, but like, you could see why he'd be upset about things.
Okay, I have some things to say about that.
So, clarification, though, pause. I'm not defending Garrett. I don't think he should use the helmet to hit
but you
someone
are
on top of the
supporting
head.
O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
No. I'm agreeing with his point. Different things.
Okay, so you said that Garrett was at first, quote unquote, defending himself against Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph would get the absolute crap beat out of him by Myles Garrett. He poses no threat to Myles Garrett.
And I saw someone, I think it was a former player, I forget who it was, he was like, Rudolph, you got to know it. That dude's a lot bigger than you. What are you doing? Like, even if he had helmet on, don't go after this dude. He's gonna whoop you.
So here's my stance on Rudolph.
Okay.
I'm a Steelers fan, as you know.
Really.
I will support Mason Rudolph, but I do not necessarily like him that much.
Yeah,
Is he still the Sweet Prince?
No.
No? No longer?
well, when players gang up and beat up on him, he is. But he's no longer. I think I said a few episodes ago that I think he will be the starter when Big Ben retires. I no longer think that.
I hope not.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think he's very good, and I think he kind of has a little bit of a frat boy look to him. He kind of looks like a Chad.
Yep.
So I don't necessarily like him, and I do think he's a little whiny.
Time out though. That's also why I'm not a big fan of him either. Because after the game, he called Garrett a bully, even though the fight was started by Rudolph.
Yeah.
So
he tried to take total victim.
Yeah, he tried to play the victim status. Like,
Yeah.
I understand you got hit with the helmet on the head, but like you still caused the fight. So that's also why I was very annoyed with the Rudolph situation.
So, in my opinion,
Yep.
scuffles like this happen in the NFL all the time, where people will get tangled up on the ground, there'll be some pushing and shoving. So I'm not going to blame this, say, oh, well, Garrett hit him in the head, but Rudolph started it, because scuffles like that happen all the time. The fight was over when DeCastro pushed him away.
And
Rudolph then did run up and had some choice words for him, but then Garrett was the one that chose to then swing a object at his head.
Which, apparently, there's a reason for that. It came out yesterday. You were talking about that at all? Or
yes, you can go into it, Elijah.
Okay, so Myles Garrett said during his appeal hearing to the NFL that Mason Rudolph, the Sweet Prince, decided to use a not-so-nice word against him, a racial slur, they say. And that's what caused him, he said, to explode. Like, that's why he lost his cool. But then he came out and said that wasn't an excuse for his actions. He shouldn't have done it. But he said that's why he lost his mind. Okay. So, what do you think about that?
I like that y'all are on opposite ends of this one. Like, you texted the group chat and you were like saying about how he's racist now.
Okay,
Carson,
no. That was
that's the first thing you said.
I don't think he's actually a racist.
So it turns out he's a racist.
I don't think he's a racist. I don't think that's true. I think it's possible in the heat of the moment he said a racist thing. Doesn't make you a racist per se. So, I'm not saying that Mason Rudolph's a bad person. I'm just saying I could, and I had told Leah this, my girlfriend, whenever we were talking about it. I was like, because Myles Garrett to me, he never had this personality of being like a reputation of being a thug per se. Like, and so for him to explode like that, I was like, something had to have been said.
Whoa! I have them. I have the instances. Okay, here we go. Did my research. Week 1 of this season, punched Delaney Walker, the Titans tight end. Punched him.
Doesn't make you a bad person.
Thug-like behavior.
That's one bad example.
Week 3, when poor Sam Darnold is down with mono, they put in Trevor Siemian. So the Jets' season already off to a bad start. They put in poor Trevor Siemian, who has his ankle broken by a late hit by Myles Garrett in week 3.
Does having a late hit make you a dirty player?
I don't know what he's thinking
when
there,
ankles
Elijah.
Get broken.
Yeah, ankles got broken.
That's a freak injury, though. It's not like him saying, I'm going to go break his ankle now. That's not what he did. If it was a late hit, it's a late hit. He probably got penalized for it, I'm assuming, right?
I'm sure he did. But there is a track record.
Late hits happen literally every week in every game. It happens in every game. So that doesn't make him a dirty player. The punch, that is one example. That's his first offense. So to me, that doesn't make you a dirty player. This right here, to me, this is a whole new level. You heard, Troy, I think it was Troy Aikman, whoever it was, or Joe Buck saying, this is the worst thing I've seen on a sports field ever. And I said, well, if that's the case, then something had to happen because Myles Garrett is not a bad person. He's not a dirty player. He exploded. And so to me, I just said to her, to Leah, I said, there's a good chance something was said to him. I'm not accusing him of that. I'm saying I could see that being the case, though.
I think, before I get to the accusation against Rudolph, I love Joe Buck and Troy Aikman on the call. The second the replay gets showed, they're just like, oh my goodness, that is atrocious. This is awful.
I'm pretty sure Troy Aikman said, I'm sorry we have to even show this to you right now. I was like, what are we talking about? It's a fight. It happens sometimes. And no one was seriously injured.
Luckily.
That is true. Luckily, because it could have gone very poorly. Luckily, Garrett didn't use the crown of the helmet, like this top part right there. If he had used that part, there's a good chance that the head's getting split open and someone might be, having some serious issues going forward.
When I saw it live, one of the worst things to me, I saw the helmet thing, but I didn't get a great picture of it. But just Pouncey kicking him in the head when he was down, I was like, "There's no way that's gonna be allowed. This dude's gonna be suspended for a long time."
And I told Carson that too. Right as it happened, I said, Pouncey's getting suspended.
He's standing up, kicking a guy.
I understand that he was defending the quarterback. I get that, and I support him in doing that. But the fact that DeCastro had Garrett pinned to the ground,
pinned down,
and you have Pouncey just kicking him in the head and punching him, that's
he jumps on top of the floor and just
that's
punches him
to a point overkill. Almost.
I've never understood the punching in the helmet either.
That hurts you more than it hurts anybody else.
Exactly,
helmets hurt a lot. So
it was like the Hulkbuster in Age of Ultron, just punching him in the face while he's on the ground.
Yeah.
So I will say this about Pouncey: I don't think he should be suspended at all. He did throw a punch, yes. He did kick him in the head, yes. But when Garrett takes the situation to a level of literally swinging an object at the quarterback, the offensive lineman, that's their unspoken rule: always defend the quarterback no matter what.
Of course.
If he would have just jumped on him and started punching him without the helmet swing, then yes, I understand, because that's Pouncey taking it to another level. But Garrett took it to another level, and Pouncey just gotta meet that level.
And actually, I'm inclined to agree with you on that. I don't think he should have been suspended, but I get why they did it, because the NFL has this huge rule about the head. You cannot hit the head ever. And so when he's kicking the guy in the head, when he's been pinned to the ground, that's a new a level they weren't going to tolerate. So I saw it coming. Do I agree with you though? If it was me, if I was Pouncey, I'm doing the same thing. I think this is suspension that he doesn't care about. He's I did what I had to do. I don't think he cares a whole lot. I'm pretty sure this.
I'm sure someone's paying for it. Yeah.
But
so you think he said the racial slur?
I don't think he did, because there's no.
I want to know about Carson. What is Carson?
Okay. Here, I cannot obviously definitively say whether he did or did not say it.
Fact. That's
because
where I lie on.
I was not there.
Yes.
But I tend to call BS on it a little bit, because if, to me, right when it happens, everybody's like, Garrett, why did you do this? Why did you do this? The easiest thing you could have said was, well, he said this. And then instead of for the whole week the media saying, why did Garrett do this? They're saying, Mason Rudolph is the bad guy here. Mason Rudolph started this. So I know you talked to me and said that he wanted to hold that because then the narrative would have been twisted. But to me, if that happened, that would explain the situation immediately, as opposed to it coming out a week later.
Yeah,
I don't know. But
and I get your side. And Luke, you can comment too if you want to. But my entire thing is the only people who know what was said are going to be Garrett and Rudolph. They're the only ones who actually
Which Rudolph adamantly denied it.
Maybe the third one would be DeCastro, because he was right there between the two. But the reality is, only one's going to know are those two. And of course, Rudolph's going to deny it, because why would he admit to having said it? He wouldn't do that. So his denial doesn't mean a lot to me. But it is the thing of you're innocent to proven guilty kind of a thing. If they can't prove it, you can't punish him for it. You have to let it go and let this thing die and move forward. So, do I think it could have been said? Yes. Do I think it was said? I'm not sure. No one's ever going to know. So there's no.
There's no way to know. For me, the timing is really suspicious.
Yes.
That he comes out a week later, everything's almost settled, and he's already got his discipline on it. He's already sentenced to the suspension. So at this point, it's not going to help him in any way other than just improving his image.
And I get that. And I get your guys' side, but I'm going to read what Myles Garrett actually tweeted out today about why he waited. So he said,
if I could get a great explanation, I'd be more on board with it.
He said,
but the timing is very suspicious.
Direct quote, journalism,
this
hot
is
takes.
his direct quote. He
up quick.
typed this up on his notes and then screenshot it and put it out there on Twitter.
Probably
Here it is. He said, I was assured that the hearing was space that afforded the opportunity to speak openly and honestly about the incident that led to my suspension. This was not meant for public dissemination, nor was it a convenient attempt to justify my actions or restore my image in the eyes of those I disappointed. I know what I heard. Whether my opponent's comment was born out of frustration or ignorance, I cannot say. But his actions do not excuse my lack of restraint in the moment, and I truly regret the impact this has had on the league, the Browns, and our devoted fans. And so to me, when he said, I was assured this was going to be a hearing, a space where I could have the opportunity to speak openly and honestly, he didn't mean for it to be publicly disseminated. To me, that was him waiting to play that card to say, I want to tell the person who can actually make the decision about my suspension, about what happened. Because if he says it right after the game, the media picks it up. The entire week is talking about who was it really said, was it really not, that kind of thing. I think he just thought in his mind, I'm going to wait to the person who can actually make a decision about my suspension for me, so he can hear it first and he can know I'm being honest. Because because I think he wanted to be sincere about it, and he wanted to make sure like he wasn't accused of just trying to play the race card to get out of it, kind of a thing.
Did he ever say exactly what he's claiming that Rudolph said?
I haven't read any reports, but it said racial slurs.
Yeah,
I think you can kind of imagine what the potential words were.
Speculation.
We're not obviously like we don't know and then people were saying like, well, if they were mic'd up, why don't you go back and look at it? Apparently, the NFL said none of the players were mic'd up. The quarterback wasn't.
Why would you not want to have
Garrett wasn't mic'd up?
Why would you not want to have Mason Rudolph mic'd up to hear his what he says after all his 4 interceptions he throws?
I know that quarterbacks they have mics in their helmets to talk to the coaches back
Yeah.
and forth,
That's
but
what
I don't think those get recorded. I think those are just like.
So Mike Tomlin knows.
Well, no. I think those
does he know?
those communications get cut off right before the play.
Think about it though. Whose helmet was swung? It's
Ooh,
Rudolph.
yeah.
So his helmet's not on his head anymore.
But he might have said it while the helmet was still
I thought
on.
he was saying that he said it while they were on the ground, not when he ran up.
Well, I don't really know. But maybe
we need to hear from Mike
Tomlin.
Tomlin
does know, but I mean, I don't know.
I do.
Tomlin would ever
I do
admit to
know
it.
that those the communications in the helmet do cut off. I think it's like 10 to 15 seconds before the play when the play clock runs down.
Okay,
they can get the play in and then it cuts off.
Okay, well, yeah. So I don't think there's a playback feature on those. Unless they're they're mic'd up for like Thursday Night Football, so they were trying to record Rudolph throughout the night. But who would want that? Because it's Rudolph. Sorry, it's Rudolph.
So
the
outcome of all this is Garrett suspended indefinitely, which probably will go into next season. You think this is something that's literally never happened before?
Okay, so my understanding of the suspension is this. So obviously the season he's done.
It's indefinite.
Even if it's the playoffs, he's not playing the season anymore.
Which the Browns are now not going to make the playoffs.
An indefinite suspension means he has to be reinstated by the commissioner. So he'll have to meet with Goodell personally and talk about coming back to the league. So I think if over the next, let's say like 6-7 months, if he can, clean up his, I don't think he's a bad person. I think if he can just prove, if he's like, he's not going to have this happen again. If he just going forward tries to be better, then I think he'll be back next season. Because also you got to be careful though, because you're setting a precedent now. Like if you spend him indefinitely for like multiple seasons going forward, like this is going to be something you have to follow for any future incidents that are like this. So you have to play it.
Well, it is pretty bad.
It is the worst thing ever seen on a sports field,
according to Troy Aikman
and Joe Buck.
Well, Malice at the Palace was pretty bad.
Yeah. So the whole incident is really not good. I'm not a huge fan of like everything that went down. Obviously, and not only the way that the Garrett handled it, but also the way everyone else handled it too. Like I think there should have been equal blame placed on the entire scuffle happening. But I think Garrett took it to the next level. I understand that.
You think Rudolph should have been suspended, don't you?
I think Rudolph he got fined. So
yeah, I think that's fair. He shouldn't be suspended.
I said
he didn't punch anyone.
I would get a 1-game suspension if he got it. But I was okay with the fine. That's equal punishment for him.
Do you think Myles Garrett or Antonio Brown will play in a game first?
Garrett.
You think so?
I don't think Brown wants to come. Well, I don't know, actually. He's been apologizing to Kraft recently. But I don't think teams want to deal with Brown.
I think Brown will be signed next year.
Brown is he's out of the league because of his own stupidity.
Yeah.
Garrett, one incident, that's cost him.
I think Garrett should be suspended the rest of this season and 4 games next season.
Is there a particular reason why 4 games?
How'd you come to 4?
Because what's his name? How many games are left in this season? I think 5. They're not going to make the playoffs, so 5. 5. Well, 12. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So 5 or 6 game suspension. They're not going to make the playoffs. So really, it's just a 6 game suspension for swinging a helmet. Make it 10. Give him 4 more next season.
Well, it's indefinite right now. So
Larry. Ogunjobi was suspended 1 game because after this whole thing is going on, he runs up and just shoves Mason Rudolph to the ground after the fact. He should be suspended 3. If Pouncey gets 3, he should get 3.
Well, I don't think that's necessarily fair because if you're going to it's a scuffle happening and Ogunjobi goes there and shoves him to the ground.
Why? Rudolph wasn't even in the scuffle.
I don't know because he just saw the incidents where like Rudolph's getting into Garrett's face. So he's over there just defending his guy. It's one of those things. Like I think the 1 game is fine for him. Yeah. And like I said, when it came to Pouncey, I'm not sure 3 games was necessary, but I get he hit him in the head and kicked him in the head, so it's gonna happen.
I would like to point out
it's kind of what they're gonna do.
I would like to point out in this same game, the Browns took out Juju with a helmet-to-helmet hit.
Okay, pause on that one. If you're gonna blame someone, blame Rudolph for throwing it into triple coverage. That's how I.
You can really blame all of it on Rudolph. If Rudolph would have played better, the whole incident with Garrett would never happen because that started a frustration from Rudolph.
But when it came to Juju, he got the ball was thrown into triple coverage, and that's just physics. You're going to have 3 guys going towards one. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Well,
so
what about Deontay Johnson,
That one-
who also was I think his name was Darius Randall. He was bleeding from his ear.
and I said that one was pretty bad. Because,
I think the Browns were headhunting.
I don't know if they were headhunting. I think the guy took a bad angle in it, obviously.
I think the
There was
Browns
some
are
guy having a
frustrated
bleeding ear.
that all offseason they're talking about them going to the Super Bowl, and they have 3 or 4 wins on the season. So they're headhunting the Steelers.
I don't think it's fair to say because 2 guys got concussions in a game that
And Rudolph.
Okay, well that was a different situation. That's
Let's just
different
ignore
beast.
that.
I don't think it's fair to say that Freddie Kitchens told his players to go out and headhunt
Never know.
because 2 guys happened to get concussions. One of them, which was not even the Browns' fault, it was Rudolph's.
I don't like the Browns as an organization.
I know you don't. I get that's the bias. Though.
So now we have a council. I'm assembling the Council of
Yep.
Evil against Mason Rudolph. So far, the members are founding member Earl Thomas, and now Myles Garrett is on the council.
Who else will join?
Who
Find
else
out
will
soon.
join? I don't know. Maybe someone on the Bengals this week.
Oh, hey.
So, all right,
Can we make Vontez Perfect honorary member?
Yeah, he probably, but he hasn't
On
done
the
anything
bank.
against Mason Rudolph.
Well,
but,
anyway, still. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay. So we talked about that for a
Moving
good
on.
amount of time. So now we can get into our NFL top 5, bottom 5 that we do every week.
Yep.
This is as of Friday, November 22nd. This is gonna post sometime next week. But the only game that has been played so far is the Texans Colts game last night. So
Did you watch?
I watched the second half.
I watched exactly 0 minutes of that game.
Wow.
Wow. I saw some highlights today at the gym. Wow.
Nice. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with the bottom 5.
Okay.
Cincinnati Bengals have not won a single game all year. I think that's the easiest choice for bottom 5. They don't even have Dalton starting anymore. AJ Green, is he really hurt? He's refusing to play.
I just think he doesn't want to play.
Yeah, I
With
think so too.
Ryan Finley.
I think if they would have made a trade deadline move to the Packers, he'd be out there on the field. Second to last team, Washington Redskins, very bad. 30th, I got the Giants. Everybody thought when they had their 2-game win streak, they were here to make the playoffs.
Danny Dimes.
Yeah, Danny Dimes can't hold on to the football.
Can't
I think
hold the
he
ball.
has like 8 or 10 fumbles on the year,
it's a lot.
whether or not they're recovered or not. 29. Okay. Now I'm gonna make a switch here. I'm putting Dolphins 28,
Okay.
Tampa Bay Bucks. Dolphins 29, Bucks 28. The Bucks are absolutely atrocious.
The Jets are going up. They're not the bottom 5 anymore.
No, I'm gonna put them one spot above the Bucks
Okay, got
because you look at the Bucks. Jameis Winston goes out there and throws 4 interceptions every
Bad.
single week, regardless of him having
Bad.
Chris
Very
Godwin and Mike Evans on
Yeah.
the sideline to throw to. Their defense, I don't think, could stop a Mason Rudolph-led offense,
Whoa.
which is pretty hard.
That's pretty bold.
Yes. So they really should be better. I think it's Jameis's fault, but not big on the Bucks.
Luke, what are your bottom 5 teams?
All right, bottom 5, I'm going to steal from Carson a little bit because I didn't prepare bottom 5.
That's okay.
Worst? Have the Dolphins won?
They won twice.
They've won.
They won
They're
twice.
on a
Who
roll,
they
baby.
beat?
They
Well,
beat the Redskins and the Jets.
All right,
lost to the Bills.
so now I'm saying the Dolphins are the worst team in the league. Easily.
Over the
Dolphins
Bengals?
are?
This was the Dolphins' goal 4 games into the season was to lose the rest of them. They're tanking.
Oh,
if they can't even lose
can't even tank
properly,
right. Yeah, I got
if
you.
they
Can't even tank right.
are winning when they're trying to lose, they're the worst team in the league.
Okay, I got you. I'm with you.
Coming out of that, I really don't like the Jets. The
Oh,
Jets,
they're bad.
They're bad.
Not big on Sam Darnold.
I like Sam
I'm
Darnold.
not really big on him. Not yet.
They're looking good right now. They've won like 2 or 3 in a row.
I feel like the Giants aren't that bad.
They've lost like 5 in a row.
But, they got a new quarterback. They're just introducing him to the game.
The Jets beat the Giants.
I'll
They
give-
got
I'll give you the record, Joe.
they got Golden Tate back.
You want
Golden
the-
Tate's nice, bro.
You love Golden Tate.
The Giants are 2-7.
But
the
they
Jets
got,
are 3
But
and
how many
7.
wins since they've gotten Golden Tate back?
None.
Okay, it was, he's got to get back into form.
Okay. You got to have Daniel Jones hold the ball. That's what you have to have.
Yeah.
Jamal Adams literally took the ball out of his hands and ran it back for a touchdown.
Yeah. So from there, I'll just go Bengals, Redskins. Just finish it up.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go.
That's a rough bottom 5.
The worst.
I still think the Dolphins are the worst.
The worst team by far is gonna be the Bengals. They're 0-10, atrocious. Ryan Finley's and not the answer.
They got
there.
good jerseys though.
Do they? Really?
I like the white ones. I do like the white ones.
Whatever. They're bad. The second worst is going to be the Redskins for me. They're 1-9. Dwayne Haskins not looking great.
Give him some time. Tyler
Wolf
Wolf
has
has
some
safe.
time.
I'm just trying to be respectful,
the
sir.
Redskins a lot of crap because they're very poorly run. They're not a good organization.
Yeah.
So
They
bad.
need Kirk Cousins back.
The third worst is going to be the Kirk Cousins back. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Trade for him. Trade for him.
That's what I'm saying.
New York Giants, they're 2-7, not very good either. Danny Dimes, I think he can be good. in
I
the
think he
future,
will be good.
but he's got to learn how to hold the ball. That's his biggest. If you have like 10 fumbles in a year, he hasn't played a full season either. Like that's so bad. So
He'll get there.
maybe
Give him time.
But he is a lot better than Eli Manning is right now at this point in his career, because Eli Manning can't move.
Yeah.
He can't.
It's rough when you're old.
I'm gonna actually, the Jets. I might put them above the Dolphins now because they have 3 wins as opposed to the Dolphins 2. But neither one of them are good.
Also beat the Cowboys.
They did beat the Cowboys, but that was.
They've won the hardest game out of all of these people. They have the
That's
best
true.
win out of
That's
all
true.
these
That
teams.
is
They
true.
beat the best team.
But still not big on them. I think Sam Darnold is a real weak spot for them for the Jets.
I think he's going to be really good.
I think in the future he can be good, but right now
Have you watched him the last 3 games? I think he threw 4 TDs last week, and then I think he had 3 or 4 the week before.
Who did he play?
The Dolphins? No, they lost to the Dolphins. The Redskins last week.
Oh, he lit up the Redskins?
Yeah, he did light up the
Count me in,
Redskins.
I don't care. And
And they beat the Giants, too. Look at that.
2-7. So, Darnold to me, I think you saw a lot against the Patriots. Like, it's the Patriots defense, but he just did not look like he knew what he was doing, period, at all. So I don't like Tim Darnold right now. Going forward, it could be good, but right now I think he's leaning more towards the bust route. And then Dolphins, I have 5th worst.
It's impressive how they really built up y'all's ranks, though.
Yeah.
Beginning of the season, you would never thought they'd win a game.
Oh, no, they won, too. They beat the Jets,
Really?
which I hesitate to put the Jets there.
Actually, would you say that the Dolphins might have a better win? Because they beat the Colts.
That's true.
So
I think the Cowboys are better than the Colts, though.
Oh, yeah, so I don't know. But, yeah, Dolphins have had a pretty good win.
Oh, yeah, I was listening to a
season,
playback of y'all's the week before the Jets-Cowboys game.
Yeah.
And Car's like, oh, that's a bye game.
Yeah.
I was like, no, obviously your Cowboys are going to win this weekend.
We'll have to get into it, but that game had a lot of things go wrong for us. So, that's what, 6 weeks ago? Don't worry about it.
So really, there's just like a core 5 bad teams, and I threw the Bucs in there because the Bucs are really disappointing.
The Bucs are on the periphery for me. Like, they are pretty.
There is no way you keep Jameis after this year.
I don't see it.
Absolutely not. I'm thinking they got to draft someone high.
They got to.
Yeah.
Because they have a top 10 pick. So all
They
right,
should have kept Fitzpatrick.
Also,
For real, yeah.
Who else is bad? And the Cardinals are pretty bad.
I think the Cardinals have a lot of
Cardinals
upside.
could
They've been scoring a lot of points, and even though they're not winning, they're in games. Even with the 49ers, they were up. I think they were up
actually, yeah,
3
they
with
played
like 2
the
minutes.
49ers as well. Both times
Yeah.
they played them. Lions are not looking great, but Stafford's
Lions
out.
are the most unfortunate team in the league
Yes.
to me. At the beginning of the year, they started off, I think, what was it, like 0-3 and a tie or something? They lost a lot of really. They should have beat the Chiefs.
Yep.
And they could have beaten the Packers.
Should have beat the Vikings, except
And,
the refs.
yeah.
The refs called the infamous hands to the shoulder call.
Oof.
You know about that one, don't you? Brutal.
All right, so we can move into the top 10 now. I'm going to do a little rearranging here. At 10, I have the Texans. They just beat the Colts last night.
Yep.
I think Deshaun Watson is really good. We're going to do top 10 quarterbacs today. He's in my top
yes.
5. So I think he's really good. Their run game's okay. I don't love Carlos Hyde, but D-Hop on the outside. D-Hop's top 3 wide receiver in the league.
He is
very good.
He might be the best.
Yeah, either him or Thomas, I think. Maybe Julio.
Them
3
they're
are,
really good.
Those 3 are the best.
They're really good.
At 9, I'm going to put the Cowboys.
Thank you. Wow.
Who are they playing this week?
Patriots.
The Patriots. So it's going to be a rough game. That's not going to affect how I see them because the Patriots are the best team. I expect the Patriots to win. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys won.
Well, thank you.
But 8, I got the Chiefs there. They got Mahomes back now. So they got a few losses in there. Actually, they might have won. Did they win all their games? Because they lost when Mahomes came back to the Titans. I think they might have won both of them with Matt Moore. So maybe they should start Matt Moore permanently instead of Mahomes.
No.
Bad take.
So I got the Chiefs at 8. I have the Patriots at 7. Now they are 9-1.
Yep.
But to be fair, the only really good team I think they've played is the Ravens, and they lost to the Ravens.
Yeah, and because the Bills to me are kind of like they're fool's gold.
The Bills,
like they're 7-3, whatever they are right now,
Yes.
but they're not that good.
Yeah. The Bills to me are the perfect example of they beat every team they are supposed to beat, but any team that is good, they cannot beat.
That's a good point.
They will get there eventually as their roster gets better and older.
They have a good defense.
They have a good
Their
defense.
offense needs some help.
I like Allen. Allen will get there.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
So 6, I have the Ravens, who are looking really good. I'm going to pump the brakes on them a little bit. Everybody's like all over the Ravens. Lamar Jackson MVP, all this stuff. We're gonna stop. They did beat the Patriots. That's a good win. But as I have said, who have they played other than the Patriots? I know that they beat up on the Texans. They did beat up on the Texans.
41-7 is more than
that is
up
rough.
on someone. That's you destroying someone.
My thing with the Ravens, when they play the Patriots again, if that ever comes around in the playoffs, Bill Belichick will have something up for Lamar Jackson.
Of course, that's what Bill Belichick does. But I think, you can keep going with your list, but I don't know. They are pretty good. And also, Colin Cowherd said, I know you guys are you a Colin Cowherd fan? Are you a Colin Cowherd fan?
I like him, yeah.
Okay, he said if you don't have the Ravens number 1 in your list, you have a vendetta against them. So
I don't have a vendetta against them. I am a Steelers fan, so I don't like them.
Go ahead.
But look at when they played the Steelers. They should have lost that game.
Yeah, but every game is a little bit different, though.
Yeah.
So I mean,
but
yes.
I do think all the top 5 teams are in the NFC. I think the AFC is far superior than the AFC.
Yes, I agree.
Because even when you think of the AFC, you think Patriots, Chiefs. The Chiefs, to me, probably would lose. Their defense sucks, and they're going to get outcoached by Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
But so at 5, I have the Vikings. The Vikings look really good. They beat the Cowboys last week.
They did.
And Kirk Cousins, everybody hates on Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins looking pretty good.
This season, yes.
Yeah.
He has looked pretty good.
So,
MVP, I don't know about that, but he has been better, for sure.
At 4, I got the Packers. The Packers' defense is starting to look a little rough. I will give you that. You've been hating on them.
Thank
you. But
wow.
I think their offense is really good. They got Jamal Williams and Aaron Jones, who are both very good. And I think their defense is good enough to keep their offense in the game.
They're also hurting because Adams has been out the entire year almost.
Yeah.
So that does hurt them a little bit.
So 3, I got the Saints. I think the Saints are very good.
Yes.
I would have had them at number 1, but they lost to the Falcons. But I think that
in a humiliating
yes, I think that when they play this Thursday on Thanksgiving, that loss will be avenged. But 2, I got the 49ers looking very good. And then 1, I got the Seahawks because they just beat the 49ers. I think the Seahawks, Russell Wilson is insanely good.
He's really good.
Luke, do you have a top 10 list you want to run through?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'd love to. Do you want me to go 10 to 1 or
10
1
to
10?
1, yeah.
10 to 1, all right.
Number 10.
I'm going to start at 5 because I don't care about the other 5. They're interchangeable.
What? Top 10, top 5.
Yeah, so we're going number 5, I'm going Saints.
All right.
They're pretty good. I like them. Drew Brees coming back. Big win. Let's go. Teddy Bridgewater wasn't a big fan of, but he did play well.
He won every single start.
But when he first came in, the game that Drew Brees went out, that's the only time I watched him play, and he played really bad that game.
Yeah, he wasn't great. And to what you're saying, Bridgewater wasn't the reason they were winning per se. He was the reason they weren't losing.
And he wasn't getting.
But he wasn't lighting up anybody. He was just dink and dunking. I think his longest throw was 23 yards.
And Kamara was not near as good when Bridgewater was playing.
He was hurt.
He got hurt too at some point, but
he wasn't hurt the whole time he was playing.
I think he missed 2 games.
Right. And he's on my fantasy team, and he was really suffering, so didn't like that.
Tough luck.
Number 4, I'm going Chiefs. Chiefs is higher than a lot of people have them, but I'm a big Patrick Mahomes fan, and I think the Chiefs can win on any given night. Whenever Patrick Mahomes gets hot,
that's true.
It's over. So I like them at 4 because any of the top 3 I have ahead of them, they can beat them. If they're hot, they're playing good. Their defense is making stops, which they aren't always. But then 3, I got Ravens. Then you got to give the Ravens some respect. You're not a big Lamar.
I have them as the best team in the AFC.
Yeah, but they're number 6.
Yeah, because the NFC.
I got them at number 3. That's more respect.
I'm just trying to be respectful, sir.
When people play him twice, they
You're not a big Lamar Jackson.
No,
Lamar Jackson's good.
I want to comment though. Okay, everyone knows Lamar Jackson now. He has a lot of tape, no one's stopping him.
Yeah.
So there is something to be said for that. I think Bill Belichick, yes, he could. Whenever they play him again at some point, he will have a better plan for it. But no one is shocked anymore that Lamar Jackson is busting out 45-yard touchdown runs. It happens.
And it's not a straight line either.
Why is no one stopping dudes
off?
Here's the thing. You mean tell me no defensive coordinator looks at him and is like, we can't stop this? They're not game planning all week for it?
When it's going to hurt them is he doesn't have the best arm. He can't throw downfield that well. So what's going to hurt him is when those run lanes aren't there, when he doesn't get those 45-yard runs. Like against the Steelers first time he played, he threw 3 interceptions. He didn't have a very good game when they played the Steelers.
But we know the interceptions.
Steelers are a really good defense, though.
They do, yes. Well, so the Patriots.
Opportunistic. I'll put it that way. But the touchdown, not the touchdowns, the picks he threw in the Steelers game, one should have been ruled incomplete because he never had possession of it before he secured the catch and hit the ground. Second one was a deflection off of someone's hand.
Basically, if the running is not there for Lamar Jackson, say a team somehow takes that away from him, I do not think he's going to be able to do it with just his arm. Michael Thomas has 94 catches on the season. The entire Ravens wide receiver core has 74.
Okay, yeah, but Michael Thomas is insane for one thing. Like,
Yeah.
who else has anything close to that?
The thing is, one opens up the other. If they cut off the running, it's going to open up the passing.
And
it's going to be easier passes. He's going to have open receivers.
And I agree with you. But what I'm saying is, why has no one figured it out yet? Then, if it's that simple,
Pittsburgh figured it out.
It not working?
We gave him the ball first in overtime, and he went 3 and out.
I think if anybody could have figured out how to stop him, it was going to be Bill Belichick, and he couldn't do it.
And am I a hypocrite because he is my starting QB in fantasy?
Yes,
in that
maybe
league.
a little. So I get what you're saying, and I tend to agree. Like I think
What's wrong with you?
People will find
if he's
ways.
gonna get points, I'm gonna play him.
I'm just going to talk bad about him. I'm going to play him.
People will find ways to stop him eventually, yes, but right now I don't get. It's not happening. So and like he hasn't played the best teams this season so far, but he did. They put up 37 points against the Patriots. So.
All right, go ahead, Luke.
All right, next they got 49ers. I don't really care that much about them, but they got a good record. They've played well. The only game they lost, unless they lost last week, because I don't watch last week.
No, they won against
the
Cardinals.
The only game they lost in the last seconds of overtime, and because their kicker couldn't put.
So you have Seattle under them though.
Yeah, I actually got Seattle at 7 here, which I know we didn't do the other 5, but yeah, we got Seattle at 7. They're just not as consistent. They haven't won as many games. But number 1, I got Patriots.
Plus 1 more.
I will always have the Patriots as long as Tom Brady is in
their
the league.
offense is looking kind of rough, even though that doesn't really matter. But their offense isn't looking
I will
great.
never bet against the Patriots in my life.
If they're in Foxborough, yeah.
Well, that's not true. When Tom Brady's gone, when he turns 65 and retires, I might stop betting for the Patriots. But the Patriots are the best team. They always will be until he retires. And when the playoffs come around, nobody wants to play the Patriots.
I agree.
Very true.
Right. Okay, so I'll give you my top 10 real quick. I have Texans at 10. I had them higher last week, but then whenever they got whooped up on by the Ravens, I said that's kind of an embarrassing loss. So you have to put them down a little bit lower. I think they're still pretty good. Beat the Colts last night. D-Hop looked really good. I like Deshaun Watson a lot. The defense is pretty solid. Missing J.J. Watt and Clowney does hurt them a little bit, but they're still playing pretty well, so they're 10 for me. They're 7-4 right now after last night's game. At number 9, I had the Chiefs, and I had the Chiefs that low because their defense is garbage. They're not very good. They can't stop anything. So it's kind of like you said, if Patrick Mahomes is hot, that's the only way they're going to win because their defense cannot stop anybody.
They can lose to bad teams, but they can beat the best.
Exactly. So to me, that team is very dependent on Mahomes playing well, and which happens more often than not.
Pretty consistent
because they are 6-4. Yeah. But the point being is like their defense is not very good, and I think that's going to hurt them in like playoffs time because they can't stop anything. And you're betting on Mahomes always playing well. So they're at 9 for me, 6-4. 8, I have the Cowboys. Their biggest problems this year to me are their slow starts. They seem to like let teams score on them early on in the game, and then they shut it down for the last half of the game. And so I think that's why they've lost so many games this season. Like they kind of dig themselves into holes, and then they can't get out of them by the time the game ends. They're 6-4, so they're 8 for me. I have the Vikings right above them at 7. They're 8-3. I like their roster a lot. They're very solid. Kirk Cousins is playing well. Missing Thielen right now. But really, to me, that offense is really predicated on Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook is a beast. He's having a phenomenal year. So that's why they're at 7 for me. Above them, I had the Packers. I really could have put the Vikings above the Packers in this list because I think I like their defense more in Minnesota as opposed to Green Bay. But Aaron Rodgers is very Mahomes-like to me and very Wilson-like to me.
Yes.
You don't bet against him. He can keep you in any game. And so, like, for example, in the Cowboys game, I don't think he threw to receivers like one time. Oh, maybe like a couple times. It was all to like he just kept in that game by throwing them to like tight ends and to running backs. Yeah. So he keeps people in games all the time. It's really annoying. I hate playing against Aaron Rodgers. But they're 8-2, so they're at number 6 for me. Number 5, I have the Patriots. They're low. Oh, they're not really low on this list, but they're in the mid range for me in this list because their offense is not very good. They're ranked 17th right now in the league. They don't have a lot of weapons really. At least right now because Sanu's hurt. They let go of Josh Gordon. The running back situation.
They say that N'Keal Harry dude that's coming back is pretty good.
Well, he's a first-round pick, but he's also not played any this year, so we don't really know that. He's coming in mid-season. He has to get back into shape, into football, mindset. But their best weapon right now is Edelman, obviously, and he's super annoying because he's always open. It annoys the hell out of me. The running backs, I'm not really a big fan of their committee style. I don't know, like Sony Michel doesn't really scare me. Burkhead and White.
I like White.
They're just kind of whatever to me. Like they're just people, but they just scheme it up well where they can just get like 20 yards every play. Super annoying. Yeah. Defense though is out of their mind. But the problem with that is they haven't played a bunch of good teams. For me, so I know they're ranked number 1. but they also played like the Jets twice, Dolphins. They got whooped up on by the Ravens. They played the Bills, who we already said what we think is fool's gold. So count me in as like a skeptical of their defense. Like I think they're really good, but they haven't played the best teams. So I'm gonna reserve judgment on their defense a little bit longer. Number 4, I have the Saints. Saints, to me, the defense is very good. There's really no weakness on their defense to me. Let me see. Their offense, we kind of mentioned it. Kamara is really good. Mm-hmm. Thomas is really good. Breeze is really good. And their O-line, I think, is top 5 in the league. They're pretty good O-line.
Yeah. So
everything you need to have success there. Tight end's a little bit weak spot for them with Jared Cook, but whatever. It's one position. And kind of like we mentioned, the fact that like the defense could carry them through, was it 5 games without Breeze? That's pretty impressive to me. And I know Bridgewater was part of that, but he didn't do a whole lot. We already mentioned. Defense really carried him through that. Let's see. Number 3, I have the Ravens. Now, the Ravens, to me, their offense is really good. I know that Lamar Jackson has his limitations in the passing game, but like I mentioned like 3 minutes ago, why can nobody stop him kind of a thing? If it's so simple as stop him from running, why can nobody do it? So there is that. The defense also looks pretty good. I mean, he looks like Michael Vick. He's really good. And then number 2, I have the Seahawks. They're at number 2 for me because I love Russell Wilson. He can make any offense work. Because, I know he has Lockett, who's pretty good. The running back, Chris Carson, he's just a kind of average guy to me. Nothing great about him. O-line's okay. Tight end, Will Dissly got hurt. So they're playing with McAllister, whatever.
I'm starting him in
fantasy.
Whatever his name
is. So he's making a bunch of basically a ragtag army function really well.
Well, Metcalf.
Metcalf, he's also
DK
pretty good.
Metcalf.
But then the defense is playing really well too. But I have the 49ers ahead of them because the 49ers defense is insane.
It is very good.
Watching them play, I think they've scored a touchdown every week almost. They're insane. Mm-hmm. I think they're honestly better than the Patriots are because they've played better teams and consistently performed
Nick Bosa.
really well. Nick Bosa is probably going to be Defensive Player of the Year and Rookie of the Year. He's nuts. Now, I'm not a big Jimmy G guy. Their offense doesn't have a lot of...
Jimmy G.
Doesn't have a lot of weapons on the offense. They got Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah, that was a good pickup.
Good pickup. I like that.
Kittle's good.
Deebo Samuel's pretty good. Okay, they have Kittle. Kittle's really good. The running backs, and I'm not a fan of Breida and what's the guy's
Coleman?
name?
I think they're both good.
And they're just guys to me. I don't know. They're just people. Offensive line's playing pretty well, but the defense really is the story with
Richard Sherman.
They're very good. So they're 9-1. Lost to the Seahawks, of course, so you might think...
That was a good game. Those might be the 2 best games.
Very great game, and kind of like what Luke mentioned, they didn't get beat that game, in the sense of they got embarrassed. They lost in overtime on a field goal because their rookie kicker assigned that week because the guy got hurt.
That's
whatever
rough.
his name is,
Yeah.
he didn't make an overtime kick. Boo-hoo, that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Don't blame...
Long plane ride home for him, Elijah.
Yes. So, they're on the West Coast, so it was an hour probably. But point is, defense is really great. It's probably the best defense in the league right now. And
I agree.
I can't remember seeing a defense that good in a long time. Maybe the Legion of Boom.
Legion of Boom
Super Bowl years. They're super good. So yeah, top 10.
All right, so we've been talking about quarterbacks a lot.
We have.
If we want to just run off our list of top 10 quarterbacks, to me there are 3 absolutely elite quarterbacks in the league. To me, there's no disputing this. Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, and Aaron Rodgers are the 3 best quarterbacks in the league by far. There's a gap, but they're in their own tier. They're in the elite tier.
They're the elite tier. I think elite has to be a very exclusive club. Whenever we say someone's good, doesn't mean they're elite. Elite are those 3 guys to us, at least to me anyway.
And so this is kind of this season part of halfway overall talent, because usually I would put Mahomes number 1, but Russell Wilson's been playing out of his mind this year. To me, Russell Wilson's the best quarterback in the league right now. Then Mahomes, then Rodgers. At 4, I have Deshaun Watson, and this is where I would put Andrew Luck if Andrew Luck was still playing. I was very high on Andrew Luck when Andrew Luck was in the league. So this is kind of my tier 2. I have 3 more players in Deshaun Watson, Carson Wentz, and Drew Brees in that order. To me, they're better than these next 4 I'm about to list right now. At 7, I have Jared Goff. He hasn't been playing great this season, but I think overall talent, he is better than at 8, I have Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins also, he gets a lot of hate all the time, but you look at what he's done this year in Minnesota. He's been lighting them up. He's been, Diggs started off slow for the season. They kind of were we got to work on the passing game. Diggs has had multiple TD games. So I think 7, I got Goff. 8, I got Kirk. 9, I have Tom Brady.
Wow.
I don't necessarily think Tom Brady right now is the reason, for the reason for the Patriots' success. But he's Tom Brady. You can't say that he's bad. Like,
keep going.
I think he still got it, obviously, but
Yeah.
the spark that usually is there with Tom Brady is not there. Like, last game Edelman threw their only touchdown pass, which I get, that was a tough game, close game.
Yeah.
Like, 9 is also where I would put Big Ben if he was healthy. If Big Ben was healthy right now, Big Ben would be at 9. And then 10, I have Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan just eclipsed some yardage milestone last week.
Matt Ryan
is a franchise QB. He's been their QB for.
He's really
it feels like my whole life. Matt Ryan has been their QB.
He's been there for a long time.
You feel like he's young, but he's been there a while.
He's like 35.
Yeah,
He's
like
pretty old.
so he's been durable. He's been really good. So that is my top 10. With Luck having been retired, he would have been at 4, and Big Ben being hurt, he would have been at 9.
Do you want to go, Luke? You want me to go?
Yeah, sure. I only got 5.
Top 5 again. Wow.
Did you just make this?
No, I actually already had these. I just didn't make 10 for this. But so number 1 for the season, I understand Russell Wilson, but I'm still going Patrick Mahomes.
You love Patrick Mahomes.
Big Patrick Mahomes.
Big Patrick Mahomes guy.
Almost drafted him number 3 in the fantasy draft.
I tried to, but your Wi-Fi wasn't working.
So you got stuck
so,
with Kamara.
It auto drafted Mike Evans for me.
Oh no, what a rough one.
And then I got Patrick the next round. So we're good.
Nice.
But this guy was drafted into the MLB out of high school. I don't know how all that works with the MLB draft stuff.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But he was, because he played baseball and he's good at it.
So was Russell Wilson. He's on the Yankees.
He averaged 20 points a game in basketball in high school, and he went to a pretty elite high school. So this dude's just an athlete. He's a freak athlete. He can make crazy plays. I like the guy. He's a cool dude. He's got a great shoe locker.
His hair is pretty rough.
It's my opinion.
It's a signature style.
I still think you should cut your hair like he does.
I don't think I could get mine.
You see it when he
I think you should get the fade on the side and like perm the top. Oh, it'd be so
perm the top. Okay.
Yeah, like
you used to have the top.
Get them like ringlets. Y'all be good.
But number 2, I'll go ahead and throw Russell Wilson in there. MVP type season for sure. Number 3 might throw you guys off. I'm going Tom Brady.
Whoa.
Over Aaron Rodgers?
It's not raw skill right now, or just like ability like Patrick Mahomes is, but just like leadership and ability to bring a team to the Super Bowl year after year. Yeah. Like if I want a quarterback, like obviously I wouldn't take Tom Brady right now because he's super old and he's gonna die in a couple years. But I mean, I would want Tom Brady. If I only had one season and I picked one quarterback to bring me to a Super Bowl, I'm going Tom Brady every time.
Okay.
Because Tom Brady, the things he does off the field, the way he can rally guys, the way he works with Belichick, he wins. The guy knows how to win. He may not be making jump passes and throwing behind his back like Patrick Mahomes, but he wins. Then I'm throwing in Aaron Rodgers.
I'm throwing him in.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say.
Casually, oh yeah.
He's good, so I put him up there. And then
do not do this, Luke.
Number 5, I'm going Lamar Jackson.
You think Lamar Jackson is better than Deshaun Watson, Carson Wentz, Drew Brees,
better than Dak Prescott?
That's insane.
Okay, not Drew Brees a few years ago, but
he's a runner. He's not a quarterback.
He's a really good runner.
That doesn't make him a good quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, I just disagree. He has a different play style, but it works. It's effective. What's wrong with his play style being different than others? Why can't he be different?
I'm an old man, Luke. I like him to stand in the pocket and throw the ball 80 yards.
Well, I gotta say, Luke, I disagree with everything in that list. So I'm gonna give you my top 10 list, and I'm gonna give you my methodology.
Well, I disagree with yours. I haven't even heard it.
Oh, thank you.
Just so you know.
Thank you. Okay. Well,
hit him in the head with a helmet.
Don't do it. That hurt. Poor Rudolph. All right, number 1, Mason Rudolph. I'm just kidding. No. So
Devlin Hodges.
I'm with it.
When it came to my list, I try to keep focused on the now. So I don't really think about like past and future. Maybe a little bit of like their legacy and how much longer they have to play.
So you're in the present, man.
But I'm trying to live like right now because like I'm not gonna say that Tom Brady is better right now because he won for 20 years. Like like he's been winning for 20 years. I am
because year after year we say he's too old.
But
we say he's 40, he's too old. He's 41, he's too old. But he keeps doing it.
I'm not going to say that because a guy is younger, he's better because he has more time to play in the league, So it's not really fair.
I didn't make that argument.
Okay, I'm just saying how I'm going to approach this.
Okay.
And so I look for things, let me see here. Key factors for me are arm talent, decision-making, overall athleticism, pocket awareness, control of the offense, football intelligence, and what should I say? And dual threat ability.
Oh, you really broke this down.
I did. So number one for me, I have.
This is more in depth than ESPN does.
I
ESPN
have Aaron Rodgers. I think I have some stats up here. I'm not going to list them all off because we don't have much time.
He's
but
good.
He is
Aaron
very
Rodgers,
good.
he could be the greatest quarterback of all time. He is really
His
good.
brother was on like The Bachelor or The Bachelorette.
Oh, he was.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, so
He's won.
I don't know why we.
The whole family's winners.
I don't know why we.
I
do
don't
that.
remember how. I don't know how the show works.
I said the guy's a winner. He has great arm talent, great decision making, great precision, He's just Aaron Rodgers. He's super good. I'm not gonna get into it a whole lot, but really good. Number 2, I have Russell Wilson. His play this year has been outstanding. I could have put him at 1, but I just think Rodgers is a little bit better. I think he's had some unfortunate breaks with like his receiver being out. Aaron Jones has played well this year, but I don't think he's like some super great running back. Russell Wilson though also played super well. I think he might be MVP this year. Super good.
Good chance.
Like we mentioned, he carries that offense like almost like a ragtag army. People you don't really even recognize. He's making them perform really well. Number 3, Patrick Mahomes. Wow, very good. I think he is probably the best athlete in the league, like at quarterback at this point.
And he's the
probably in the
he's
world.
the face of the league for the next 10
is
years.
the future.
He
And
could go professional in any sport he
will
wanted.
be the first quarterback to break $40 million a year. I'm calling it right now. He's going to get.
Oh, for sure.
He's going to get paid.
He get 50. I'd pay him 50 for 10 years.
He's
I'd
getting
pay Patrick Mahomes $50
and
million.
get this. He missed. Was it 2 games, 3 games?
It was a couple.
Yeah, I
And
think 2 or 3.
He has more yards than both Wilson and Rodgers does.
Does he really?
He's that good. That's not. He missed 2 games. He still
Dang.
has more yards than they do. It's insane. He's really good. Number 4, I have Drew Brees. Now, he missed 5 games, so his stats aren't as great as the other guys are. But I think he's still one of the best passers in the league.
I agree.
I think he knows football really well. He and Sean Payton really work well together. The offense is really good with.
If you're gonna pick an old guy, why wouldn't you go Tom Brady over?
Because Drew Brees is better than Tom Brady
I'll
right
explain
now.
that later. I'll explain that later. Actually, I have an honorable mentions category.
I think that says something about the Saints too, that they lose a top 4 QB to you and they go undefeated without him with their backup. Their roster is very good.
Their roster's very good,
Really
and
good.
I think
I would put
that
them at
game-
number 1 too if they won lost to the Falcons.
they're really good. Okay, now number 5, Deshaun Watson.
Yes,
I
very
said
good.
I think he is the best dual threat quarterback in the game today. He is that good. He great thrower.
Well,
but
Lamar Jackson is.
Lamar Jackson's not a good thrower as he is.
He's not, but he's a better runner and he's a good enough thrower to put him at the number
Wrong.
1 dual
Okay, so
threat.
would you rather have someone who's like above average at both, or would you have someone who's really, really good at running, but then also like he's not the best passer? What would you rather go with as a quarterback?
Lamar Jackson.
I'm going to Deshaun Watson.
Lamar Jackson is going to be injured in like 3 years.
Well, then you trade
And also,
him or you
I
cut
gotta
him.
say, when it comes to Deshaun Watson, I think the guy has great. I think he's a
Yes.
winner because he got kicked in the eye in one
Yes.
play. Remember that play? He got kicked in the eye.
Deshaun Watson
And
is
He's a cool
still
guy.
threw a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's insane to me. Like most people might just dip over that point and say, "I'm out of this play. Like, I can't see."
Luke's ratings.
He powered through.
He's a cool guy.
He's a cool guy. He was like traveling the world. I saw a little ESPN special over the summer. He went to a bunch of different countries. I was like, that's a cool guy.
Cool guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it kind of like what Carson said to me. The elites, there are 3 for sure.
Watson's on the verge.
Watson's on the verge. I think in his prime, Brees would have been an elite too. But I don't know if he is anymore, but he's still very good. So those top 5 for me are kind of the elites, semi-elite category.
Are you about to break my heart with Carson Wentz, Elijah?
I'm going to break your heart. I might shock the world too.
I know who's coming.
Given his play this
Oh
season,
my gosh.
at number 6, we have my sweet prince, Dak Prescott.
Oh,
And I think this deserves a little explanation, so I'm going to explain. Let's use some stats here, first off. He has 3,221 yards this season. That's number 1 in the NFL. He has 67% completion rating, 21 pass touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and 3 rush touchdowns at a 104.1 quarterback rating on the season. And so I'm really comfortable putting him in this list above Wentz and Goff, for example, because I think of his draft class, he's played the best. And you can't really deny that. Like I know that Goff has gone to the Super Bowl or whatever, but he didn't win. I don't think Goff is that great as an arm talent. I don't know. He doesn't really scare me as like an athlete, and I just don't really like him a whole lot. And I'll get into Wentz later. He's on my top 10. Wentz is.
Oh, really?
So,
I'm surprised.
Yes. So I like Wentz, and this is something I think people don't understand about me. I know I'm a Cowboys fan, obviously, and so if you couldn't tell.
I see the star.
Yeah, and so I know it might seem like, oh, you're a homer, but I think the way he has played this season, he has played the best out of those 3 for sure. And that doesn't mean I don't like Wentz or Goff. It just means I don't think they're as good as Dak is right now. I think they have higher ceilings than Dak does. But I think statistically you have to say, in the way they've played, that Dak right now is the best out of those 3.
I will give it to you on Dak. You have convinced me something on Dak. I used to say I don't pay Dak is kind of my thing. I think you should pay him, but be very responsible in how you pay him.
Well, yeah.
I now agree with you. I don't know who the Cowboys would get that's better than Dak Prescott.
And-
I think he is your franchise quarterback.
Yes.
I think you should keep him. He is playing very well this year.
Yes.
But I have a counter stat for you.
Okay,
You
sure.
say he has the most passing yards in the league. You know who has the second most passing yards in the league? Matthew Stafford. Who has the fourth most passing yards in the league? Jameis Winston, who we just said was atrocious.
Do they include interceptions?
Are you sure that's true?
Yeah, this is the thing right here. QB's averaging 300 passing yards.
This is a different stat. We're talking
Yeah, different
about
stat. Sorry.
here. Different stat we're talking about here. And
So
also,
what's
who
this
else is that
stat?
last? Patrick
So
Mahomes.
300
QB's
plus.
averaging 300 plus passing yards
per
per game.
game. Okay.
Jameis Winston is in that category.
Okay, so he throws a lot.
He can
What's your
sling
point?
it.
does.
And actually, I like Stafford a lot. I don't know if you guys.
I
agree
like
on
Stafford, too.
I think Stafford's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the league. He actually in my top 10 list. You're gonna find that out pretty soon. But okay, what is that supposed to tell me then exactly?
I guess that the stats not that good.
Like stats
What are you
are one thing.
talking about?
I think Dak is lighting it
Because
up this year.
anything that Jameis Winston is in, it can't be that good of a stat.
So then Patrick Mahomes is not that good then. Is that what you're saying to me?
No, but he's not
Is that-
good.
is that-
He's not good based solely on that stat, though.
No, okay, and I'm not saying that's only it makes him good. You can have a lot of yards and still be bad.
I think-
But what I'm saying is, if you do you watch the Cowboys play at all? He's really good.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I think Dak is lighting it up this year. I think he is playing pretty well. I probably could put him in my top 10 this year.
And
Maybe not
also,
overall talent.
I want to
but
pause and say the greatest coach of all time, Bill Belichick, this week has been saying like lavishing praise on Dak how good he is. He's better at deep throws. He's really poised in the pocket. He's hard to tackle. He doesn't make a lot of stupid decisions. So like he's a good quarterback. And I think this season the way he has played bears that out. That he is worthy of being considered as like a top 10 quarterback for sure.
I think that Dak, like I said, has been lighting it up. He is playing very well. He is a little bit in the perfect situation. His offensive line is
Okay, if you
insane.
wanna argue
He
that,
has Zeke.
why
He
is
has
that his-
Amari
why
Cooper.
is that his fault?
That's kind of the way they're playing too. They're playing very like sling the ball down the field right
can I
now.
ask
Zeke
you-
isn't
can-
lighting
can I
it up
ask you
this
a
year.
question
They're
then?
playing
Can I-
very
can I ask-
differently
can I
this
ask you
year.
a question then?
What?
Okay, in the last game against the Lions, how many yards did Zeke have?
I don't know.
47.
47. That's what I'm saying. They're throwing the ball
How
more.
many did Dak have? Cooper have?
Not a lot because I started him in
it was-
fantasy and he
I
had
wanna say-
50, maybe
I think it was
50.
50-ish. So not great games.
I think
for either one of them.
37
How
maybe.
many yards did Dak throw for in that game?
A lot.
444.
Gallup. Marco Gallup.
So I mean, if teams focus on taking away the two weapons we have that make him so great, why did he still light it up and win that game?
I say he's having a good year. You've convinced me on Dak that you should keep him.
So what I'm saying is, if I understand, he has a good O-line. That's true. He has good receivers. That's true. He has good running back. That's true. Why is that his fault? He's still winning if they get taken away. That's my main point.
Yep.
Yep.
So to me, his season this year has really convinced me because even I was on the boat of like I'm not sure I'm going to pay him $35 million a year. At this point, I'm cool with that because also in the way the quarterback market works, it's always going up. And whenever a franchise quarterback comes due for a contract, he's going to get paid. So, and I think he needs to get it done before Mahomes does because Mahomes is going to throw the market all out of whack with $40 million a year, and so that's going to bump up Dak's numbers. Not above Mahomes, but he'll bump it up to like above Wilson probably. So if we can get it done now before Mahomes comes due,
I forget who it was, but I sent you like the top paid quarterbacks or whatever.
Yep.
Someone really atrocious gets like 28 million. It might have been Derek Carr.
I think Derek Carr.
He's
he
not
gets
really atrocious, but 28 million for Derek
and
Carr.
and right now, think about it. Dak is, I think he's getting paid like $2 million this year.
Yeah.
So he
well,
deserves to get
Mason
paid.
Rudolph is also getting paid $2 million.
Oh,
so maybe we should.
I'm sorry. At least Dak can throw to people like in their hands.
Friend of the show, Simon Haynes knows Mason Rudolph.
We have to maybe try to get Rudolph
does?
Rudolph
yeah,
on
he's
the
a family
show.
friend of Simon's.
Mason Rudolph, open
Mason
invitation.
Rudolph can come on the show. We'll get to the bottom of this.
We will not hit you with
Did
the
you
helmet.
say it?
Okay, so moving on from Dak, I think Dak has played well enough this year to be at top 6. Number 7, I had Matthew Stafford. Wow.
I like Stafford.
Now, Stafford, poor guy, really, think about it.
Yeah,
He's been outshined by Rodgers in that division his entire career.
Yes.
And really, his rosters have never been that talented around him like Rodgers has had at some points in his career. I think he has one of the best arms in the league. I think he's really strong. Just unlucky, though, with his roster and his team and Rodgers.
that's true.
Rodgers being really really good. So I have Stafford at 7 for me.
Okay.
8, I have Carson Wentz. And I'm going to say it again. I like Carson Wentz. I think he's going to be good. I think he's probably the second best right now.
You said he's going to be better than Dak, right?
Yeah, I think the ceiling is higher for.
I think he already is better than Dak.
I disagree, just because.
Is he the Derrick Rose of football? Will he ever stay healthy?
He's healthy right now.
So for now, yes.
Okay.
He has great intangibles. I put this here. He's 6'5", 237 pounds. He's really big, so that's good for him. He's mobile too, though. He can move pretty well. My one critique of him though is like I don't think he has like the win at all costs kind of mentality. Like I don't think he like is the reason that they win the games, kind of a thing like that. I feel like if the team plays well around him, he plays well. If they don't, he doesn't play well, kind of thing. He doesn't elevate the team above him, around him to be better. So I like Carson Wentz. I think he's gonna be really good in the future. I'm looking forward to more matchups between Dak and Carson in the division. Because Daniel Jones and Dwayne Haskins are not the future of that division. So moving on to number.
You're not gonna give Haskins a shot?
Right now, no. Maybe
Tyler Wolf will call him.
Maybe he has a whole offseason to develop and start and all that kind of stuff next year. Maybe we'll see how it goes. But right now, no thanks. Number 9, I have Kirk Cousins. I put Kirk Cousins here mostly because of his recent play. Like you mentioned, he's been playing really well this year. But before that, wasn't that good. So this is where kind of the past does influence my decision a little bit right now. It's like, is this year a fluke or is he actually this good? But he hasn't played well this year. So I have him at number 9. And then number 10, actually, you know what?
No, you thought about that one.
I have Rivers right now. But
I like Rivers.
That was before he played against the Chiefs on Monday night and threw 4 picks. Yeah. So I might elevate Matt Ryan to this spot. I like Matt Ryan.
Did you include Lamar Jackson at all?
I did not.
Okay.
And I have him as an honorable mention though. I think if I was to do like top 15, he'd be in that for sure.
Probably maybe top 32.
Top 12.
Okay.
I think
top 32.
Okay, so I have honorable mentions. I have Jared Goff because he has played well in past seasons, but I don't think he's a great quarterback. He's not some Hall of Fame talent to me, I don't think. I have Tom Brady as an honorable mention. Tom Brady can't move anymore. Do you guys watch him play at all?
Yeah,
he can't move. He doesn't move his feet ever. I swear to God, he doesn't move. I think if you're talking like Tom Brady from like the 08s and all that kind of stuff, he's elite. Right. But right now he's not anymore. He's a bus driver of his offense, which actually isn't that good anyway. And the defense is really carrying him this year. So Tom Brady not.
He won me $20 on the Super Bowl last year. I might have to call
Who'd you bet with? Co.
And then
I might have to call him up, put the bet on again.
I would say Lamar Jackson is honorable mention for me.
Just because he's been playing well this year.
He's been playing well this year, but he's only been playing for 2 years.
I think Luke, my thing with Lamar Jackson is you're saying that he's kind of like a novelty. He's like a trick. It's like, look, he's going to go out there and he's going to run around and do all this crazy stuff you've never seen before. Would you rather have that as opposed to Matt Ryan, who's going to stay in the pocket? He may not lose, but you have Matt Ryan for 10 to 15 years. He's going to throw for 4,000 to 5,000 yards a season, and you can always trust he's going to be there. Or Lamar Jackson, who he's going to have some big highlight plays. It's going to be really cool to see, but the chance of him getting hurt from running is there every single game.
Right, and you could draft a Matt Ryan almost every year. All right? Lamar Jackson's come once in a generation. You're not going to find them.
How long do mobile running quarterbacks last?
Robert Griffin he was Lamar Jackson before Lamar Jackson. He lasted 1 year.
And Cam Newton is substantially bigger than Jackson is, and he's played for he's almost done now.
I don't think you can just discard a guy people with similar play styles do you get injured.
No,
so
I
I'm
agree.
not gonna play you.
And I think going forward for Jackson to be a top 10 quarterback for me, he has to become a more elite pocket.
I'll say it's early. It's early for sure. But I mean, in a year or two, y'all are going to have him on hot takes. He's going to be number 1. No, 2 to
you can ask
Patrick
Carson.
Mahomes.
I'm actually bigger on Lamar Jackson than he is.
Yeah, I'm not that huge on him.
I noticed.
I think that Jackson he's shown this year to me the ability to throw the ball.
Yeah.
But he doesn't do it all the time. So there is some truth in what Carson says. He is almost like a run-first kind of guy. But I think going forward, he can develop that passing skill more and become a really good quarterback who can run when the opportunity presents itself.
All right. Yeah. So I mentioned to some of our fans, send in your list of quarterbacks. Yep. We'll read them off on the show. We'll just run through these.
Also, feel free to email us about how stupid our lists are.
Yes, email hottakesshow@gmail.com.
Unless it involves Dak.
Don't say mine's stupid. I'll hurt my feelings.
So we are just going to run through. It's like the fans' chance to get their opinions on the show.
Exactly.
Do you know Jared Shakro, Luke?
I don't.
He knows you because he was on your fantasy football team.
Flag football team. Jared, he has the long hair.
The guy that played line with me?
No.
That we would rush the quarterback.
No. That was Brandon Swan and Andrew Hoffman.
The guy with the man bun.
Yeah, his sister came to one game.
Oh, did he play line with you that time? Like,
he would on defense.
That's
a great guy. I like that guy.
So he has sent us.
How are you doing, Jared?
He has sent us in his list of top 10 quarterbacks. That includes 13 quarterbacks.
people.
So
he's a go-getter.
He has Mahomes at number 1, Rodgers at number 2, Watson at number 3.
Okay.
Breeze at number 4. I don't have a problem with any of this. I would put Wilson above these people. He has Wilson at 5.
You don't have a problem with number 9?
We'll get there.
Okay.
Wait till you see his 10. Matthew Stafford at 6. And Big Ben at 6. So he has a guy with a destroyed elbow and a broken back at number 6.
This year,
Yeah. So at 7, he has Dak, Phillip Rivers, and Matt Ryan. What a...
Those guys need to be off the list.
Oh, I see how he did it now. He got 13, but he still only put 10.
He only put it in,
Okay.
So, 8, he solely left to Kirk Cousins, I guess. Great for that. 9, he has Lamar Jackson. 10, he has Teddy Bridgewater, who played for like 4 or 5 games. Did go undefeated.
Throw Minshew in there.
So, Gardner Minshew, wow. Nick Foles is back, wow.
Yeah, next we have friend of the show, was just on an episode, Tyler Wolf.
Good guy.
At 10, he has Jared Goff.
Yep.
8, he has 9, he has Kirk Cousins. 8, he has Carson Wentz. 7, Jimmy Garoppolo, who all of us left off of our top 10. I think he's on the borderline of top 10 as well.
I don't think he's good.
You don't think he's good?
I think that if San Francisco right now had a good quarterback, they would be the most dominant
He
team.
has lost like below 5 starts in like all of it. Like I don't think because when he filled in for Tom Brady, he didn't lose. When he first got to San Francisco, he didn't lose.
Yep.
And then I think he lost 1 or 2 at the start of last season.
I think the weakest point on the 49ers right now is the quarterback.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Well, I mean,
between the defense,
what else is weaker?
I guess.
Look,
So.
I just coming over to my side.
I don't think he's bad. I think he's just average.
And I would like to,
I'd say that he's average.
I would like to point out, Luke and I have an inside source. Someone that we met at the beach told us they saw Jimmy G snorting cocaine in a bathroom at
get him
college.
out! Get him out!
So
Call Roger. Get him out.
Right there.
6, he has Deshaun Watson. 5, Drew Brees. 4, Patrick Mahomes. 3, Aaron Rodgers. 2, Russell Wilson. 1, Tom Brady.
I like that.
Yes.
Tyler,
what
the hell are you talking about? Tyler
Wolf, and that's a good analyst right there. He's been on the show twice, I
Yes,
believe.
yes.
Second time with a scratchy voice, didn't love it.
Oh,
but-
let's go ahead and read off 1A and 1B.
Yeah, 1A, Case Keenum. 1B, Dwayne Haskins.
What the heck are you talking about?
See, I think
That's
that's
a
just-
Redskins fan.
Yeah.
But he also threw in some comments he wanted me to read. Dak, quote unquote, wasn't even in consideration for the top 10.
I can he hasn't been watching football the past couple weeks.
He did send this to
Sorry,
me
Tyler.
like 2 weeks ago. He did say Kirk Cousins at the time was the best quarterback in the league the last 3 weeks. That was when he threw like 4 TDs for 3 straight games.
Yeah.
He said Eagles would be 0-7 without Carson Wentz. Watching him play, you could tell he just carries the team, which I agree with. Carson Wentz is very good.
I don't see it that way. I don't see it that way.
Yeah, that's completely
I don't
opposite
see it
of
that
what
way. I
Elijah
don't see it that way.
said.
I don't think he does that, but I think
He's a
Wentz is
tank.
Good.
He's really good.
What does being a tank matter? Cam Newton's a tank. He can't play anymore.
He's a tank. So
I think if he didn't get injured, they wouldn't have won the Super Bowl that year.
Okay, I'll give you the example from this year. The Cowboys game. I saw no spark in Wentz. Never saw him even like. He didn't look like he even really cared that much. He's like, this game is lost. He just kind of screwed it and said, we're going home now. That's my example.
He was just
If you
thinking
watch that
about
game-
dinner.
If you watch that game, you never saw Wentz come to life. And if that's the greatest quarterback in the division, I just don't see it.
Reminds me of the old Timberlake games where in timeouts we'd say, "So are we stopping for food after this?"
yeah, our coach is looking mad because we're like, "Hey, Chipotle after the game."
Yeah,
And they're like,
where are we
"Play the
going?
game."
It's a close game.
So I told Tyler Wolf I would also read these comments he sent me about the Myles Garrett situation.
Oh wow, okay, yes.
He said, if Myles Garrett would have done that to Tom Brady, he would have been sent to the electric chair immediately following the game.
That's so true. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But
That's justifiable, though. That would have killed
in
Tom Brady.
that situation, everyone would have loved Garrett for that. So, except for the people in New England.
He also said
Whoa.
that he was a thug
Whoa.
and he needs to be suspended
Who-
the rest of the
who
year.
likes Tom Brady?
I like Tom Brady.
Why?
Jared likes Tom Brady. Was
Ja-
it
Tyler.
Tyler? Okay, Tyler.
So he also said, imagine if he had done that to Breeze or Rivers along with the Tom Brady. He said Mason Rudolph is the most bullied quarterback in the league.
That's
Which,
fair.
well,
ridiculous.
Earl Thomas, you know.
Think
that
about
was a clean hit.
about the next snap that now that Mason Rudolph is in the game and everyone thinks he's a racist. That's not going to be fun for him.
I think his team is with him. I think they believe him.
Yeah, Cameron Hayward said he supported him. So
I like Cameron.
And-
Also very good.
and Marquise Pouncey came over there and wailed on Garrett's head for him. So
Yeah.
He said make sure to mention that it was literally assault, literally a criminal offense. Garrett could have gotten arrested for assault. If he would have hit him with the crown, blood would have gone everywhere. And it was crap.
People keep saying crown.
Ungunjobi.
Is that the top of the helmet?
Give me the helmet. I'll show you where it
Is that the
I'll show you the
top?
crown.
Hot takes demonstration.
All right, let me
The
see
crown of the helmet
It's like
is
very top.
It's like this part right here.
He ended up hitting him with
That's-
And so
okay, that's what I
whenever it came
figured.
down, he hit him with like this part, like the earpiece.
Mhm.
If he had done like this and if you ever hold like an actual helmet, they are heavy and they are like hard plastic. This right here is, like,
this
soft.
guy played football
Yeah.
here.
They hurt, and so I could imagine me hit like.
I
that.
saw a video of a
Yeah.
guy just like casually hitting a
like
wooden
this.
chair
He
with a
just
helmet, and
was
it
fortunate.
split the chair in half. Yeah, and I think it wasn't Garrett saying. It was just happened to be the way he was holding it. I think if he had it held the other
If
way,
he
he
had
would
just- if he
have
grabbed it
with
different way.
Unpopular
Yeah.
opinion. He was trying to put the helmet back on.
Yes, wow.
Yeah, that's
he
true
was trying to put
too.
it back on.
Yeah.
Take a helmet back, buddy.
There's no way to know for sure.
No way.
All right, so we want to list off our midseason MVP right here. Russell Wilson goes on bye for 1 week, and all of a sudden Lamar Jackson is the MVP. No thanks. Russell Wilson, to me, is still by far the clear and obvious choice for MVP right now. He's been playing incredible. If you want to list it off, I'd put Rodgers at 2, Christian McCaffrey at 3. Christian McCaffrey's been lining up.
I'd have McCaffrey at 2.
Really, yeah. He's been playing really good.
Playing out of his mind. It's insane.
Very
So
good.
if you want to put Lamar in the conversation, that's fine because he has been playing well. But Russell Wilson has been lighting
We'll
it
put
up.
Dak in the conversation too.
Dak has been playing well.
Yes,
You can put,
yeah.
but you also got to put Kirk in the conversation.
Do we?
So-
He is in the conversation though. People have been
So,
considering.
Luke,
Really?
who is your MVP? Luke, who's your MVP?
Yeah,
right
I
now?
go Russell Wilson. If
We all in agreement?
barring
I think
barring
Wilson-
the Mahomes injury, if Mahomes wouldn't have been injured, it'd be Mahomes, I'm sure. But it's
I think
Wilson
it was
now.
the game against the who was it at the time? That touchdown to Tyler Lockett in the corner. They were in the neon green.
That was incredible.
That game to me, I was like, I watched the game. I was like, he's the MVP this year. I'm calling it right now.
Yep.
So Wilson's playing really well. Yes.
And we talked about Nick Bosa for Defensive Player of the Year. He's got some competition with Minka Fitzpatrick and T.J. Watt, both on
I
Steelers
agree,
defense, both
yeah.
playing very well.
But
TJ Watt, yeah.
TJ Watt's
very, very good. I've been a fan.
Bosa's better.
That's the first defensive player.
Bosa's a lot better. I'm sorry.
TJ Watt's the first defensive player I've ever been a fan of.
Really?
I've actually watched.
I know.
I like to
I
watch play.
like TJ Watt a lot,
Mhm.
but I think Bosa's better.
Bosa's also a Trump supporter.
Wow.
Trump tweeted congratulations to him when
He's
they
a great
drafted him.
football player, though.
Yeah.
So. But Minka, though, I mean, making a great case for it. But I don't know. I don't see how they can't give it to Bosa this year. I don't know.
As a rookie, that's crazy.
As a rookie, that's it. He's defensive rookie of the year for sure. Possibly defensive player of the year.
So as we go into Thanksgiving, there are 3 Thanksgiving Day games. We wanted to just run over real quick. Actually, you have a few games before that. Okay, yeah.
These aren't
quick
Thanksgiving
predictions.
games.
Yeah.
So Cowboys and Patriots. You guys want to go first? Want me to go?
Patriots.
I think the Patriots
What's
will
the
win because
score?
they're at home.
Okay. So I put the Cowboys can win this game. I don't have high hopes for it because the Cowboys offense is number 1 ranked.
Yep.
Patriots number 1 ranked defense. But then this is where the stat really comes in. The Patriots offense is ranked number 16. The Cowboys defense is ranked number 7. So I guess you have to say, really, statistically speaking, the Cowboys have an advantage. The problem is you have Bill Belichick on the other side of the field. That's the X factor to me is can Bill Belichick figure out how to stop the offense of the Cowboys?
He can.
So I'm going to say my score prediction, I'm going to go with the Cowboys. 24-21.
Oof.
I have
brutal.
Brett Maher, the Maharati, on a walk-off field goal from like 63
Wow.
yards. 62
See,
yards.
63.
I don't.
Yeah, he's at the
62. That's crazy.
62, whatever.
What's
yeah,
his name?
bring it in a little bit.
Whoever the some kicker hit a 70-yard field goal in warm-ups the other day. That's crazy.
Harrison Bucker?
Yeah,
Bucker,
yeah.
Whatever it is.
That's crazy.
Bucker.
That's insane.
He's really good. Yeah.
I think the Cowboys. I wouldn't be surprised if they won because I do think the Cowboys have a better roster. It's just the Patriots always win. It's like last week against the Eagles.
Especially in Foxborough.
Against the Eagles, they didn't even play well and they
Yeah.
just won. It's like
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
sometimes they don't even have to play well. They just win.
I have some hope though.
Yeah,
That's my thing with the Patriots. They just win.
I'll pick the Patriots. Won't be surprised if the Cowboys win. Steelers, Bengals. I see you have here. You not much to say. Both teams aren't great, but Bengals are slightly more less great. So you pick the Steelers 21-13. I actually think Bengals get their first win of the season this week.
Well, yeah.
Oh, come
when
on.
Actually, when I was writing that, I forgot about that. Juju's out.
Juju, Connor, and Deontay Johnson.
Deontay Johnson and Connor's
So-
out. So and also Rudolph might.
No.
Rudolph
No.
sucks.
He underthrows everyone. So
Yes, Rudolph is bad, but the Bengals are worse.
Yes, I agree with that. I think I'm okay. So I'll tentatively pick the Steelers. Just because we killed them the first time we played.
We got the helmet here, man.
Yeah. So I'll pick the Steelers, but I will not be surprised if the Bengals win because who are we playing? We don't have anyone.
This game is going to be really predicated on the defense getting interceptions.
I do think that's the one thing.
Which it's probably going to happen.
Both offenses are going to be absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
But like if Minka gets a pick six,
Yeah,
or
we need a
something
pick
like
six right
It'll be
here.
crushing if Pittsburgh loses.
Yeah, I'll be very sad because we won like 4 in a row before that Browns game. We got back into playoff contention.
Yeah, and now you're out of it again.
Yeah, we're
That's
back
okay.
out. So San Francisco, Green Bay. That's a good game. I'll pick who's home team.
That was a good
I think it's
game.
Packers?
Packers.
I'll go Packers.
I think I picked the
Ooh.
49ers to win this because their defense is really, really good. I think they're going to stop
Yeah.
Rodgers and the boys.
I'll go 49ers.
I think this is gonna be a big Rodgers
I have
game.
28-20 my final score.
Wow,
You just want to gander a guess or?
31-28.
Wow. Close game.
We're going 13-7.
Whoa.
Oof.
Play the low ball.
That's brutal.
I like it.
Play the low
Bet
ball.
the under on the points.
Exactly.
The game total for this is probably like in the high 50s. Looks like big under.
13-7, baby.
So Thanksgiving Day. This is kind of a Thanksgiving episode, so thought we'd throw in some Thanksgiving Day predictions. Who's going to get the turkey leg, and who's sitting with the creepy uncle Elijah? So
All right.
that's kind of our the polar opposite. So,
Okay, sure. Yeah.
So Bears at Lions. I just have simply Matthew Stafford has a hurt back, but Jeff Driscoll is lighting it up. Trubisky has AIDS and will be sitting with the creepy uncle. So Lions
wait,
30.
what?
Trubisky has AIDS and he's going to be sitting with the creepy uncle.
He has
Trubisky-
AIDS?
Trubisky is bad.
He's terrible.
He's really bad.
Oh, okay. But this isn't
metaphor,
like
okay?
an actual
It's a metaphor.
report.
No,
Okay.
it's not.
Okay, you want to
Oh,
go
yeah.
with your
No, go ahead,
Lions, Lions will be eating the turkey leg in
Now,
this one.
this is, I
31-17.
think Stafford being out is really the kicker in this situation. I think
Bears need a kicker.
They do need that. Pinedo, it's not the answer. But I'm probably going to go with the Bears, I think, in this one. I think the Bears will win. It'll be like 17-14. It'll be a
17-14,
bad game.
okay.
It'll be a not fun game to watch, but it's going to
It'll make us rethink why we let the Lions play every Thanksgiving.
Yes. So I think Bears win those because I don't. Driscoll to me is like,
What do you think, Luke?
I was trying to think about any fantasy players in the Lions, but yeah,
Galladay, Marvin Jones, Bro Scarborough.
Golden
Wow.
Tate used to play on the Lions.
that's true.
Luke loves Golden Tate.
I drafted him
Jenny
and sat
Amendola.
through the suspension with him, and I sat through the suspension with Kareem Hunt, and now they're both back, and I have the best team in the league. So,
Oof.
Do
Oof.
you?
Oof.
So
I don't
Do
know
you?
about that.
well, I beat Carson twice, so I don't know why he's making
Oh
noise.
my goodness.
Point made.
But yeah, I'm going Bears. That matchup.
What's the score?
Scores 24-14.
Okay.
I don't think these are very good games because next we have Bills at Cowboys, which, as I said before, the Bills are the epitome of they beat the teams they should beat. The Cowboys are not one of those teams. Cowboys eat the turkey like 35-24.
Yeah, I think this is a game that the Cowboys definitely can win. But it's one of those games that we lose. I won't be shocked because that's what the Cowboys do. It'd be the ultimate Cowboys thing to do would be to go win in New England and then lose at home to the Bills. That'd be the ultimate Cowboys thing to do. But I think we're gonna win. It'll be not super high scoring, like 24-21.
Nobody's sitting with the creepy uncle on this one. I respect both sides.
Yeah, sure.
So,
I'll go Cowboys though.
Yeah, last game is Saints at Falcons. This is a revenge game for me. The
Blowout.
Can you believe that the Saints lost coming off a bye week at home to the 1-7 Falcons? That's insane. Michael Thomas is gonna have 150 yards, 2 touchdowns against them.
That's your prediction?
Saints
Wow.
win 31-26.
You know what? I'm gonna go with the Saints. I'm gonna go 28-13.
Before the Falcons beat the Saints, I had them in my bottom 5. That's the most disappointing team.
They really
They went from
Well,
going to the Super
I
Bowl
think
to they can't even
They've
function.
shown the past 2 weeks because not only did they whoop the Saints, they whooped the
Yep.
Panthers too.
True.
Really bad.
Sorry,
And so
Christian.
they've shown they can be good. They just
Christian.
haven't done it this year.
Ha.
Sorry,
Christian, see
Simon.
Hammy. Oh, but yeah, I'm gonna go Falcons on that one.
Oh, really?
You're going with
Yeah,
Falcons,
What's the
really?
score?
just to take the other side. But I mean, they beat them once, they can beat them again.
But Lamar Jackson's better than Matt Ryan, though.
They've got them figured out. They've got what? The Falcons have already got them figured out. They beat them once. They know what to do. They're gonna do it again.
It's time to see what the Saints have in Teddy Bridgewater. They need to bench Drew Brees.
No, I don't think it's time.
I mean,
I don't think it's
Jared
time.
Matt Moore was undefeated this year. Do they need to bench Mahomes?
I think some teams might want to look at Matt Moore. But no,
the Steelers.
The Steelers possibly for sure. Possibly the 49ers. Not a big Jimmy G guy.
Dude, Jimmy G is so good. Okay, wait, I have really quick another hot take thing I need to address. All these people out there, I've seen it on Twitter. literally the most extreme thing. The Falcons need to cut Matt Ryan and sign Colin Kaepernick. Who was the other one? The Chargers need to cut Phillip Rivers and sign Colin Kaepernick. These two quarterbacks have been with their franchises for 10 to 15 years. They are not going to be cut for Colin Kaepernick. No. It's atrocious. Colin Kaepernick, there is one video of Colin Kaepernick throwing the ball 30 yards down the sideline, and they're like, dang, Kaepernick still got that arm.
I want to point
Jeff Driscoll got that arm.
I want to point out also he wasn't wearing pads, and there was no defense to throw against, so like of course he's going to.
It doesn't matter. He doesn't want to play in the league.
He doesn't.
Yeah, Stephen A. said that. So.
Dude, did you see the video of Terrell Owens? He said on First Take, he said, Stephen A., I'm going to be honest with you right now. On the streets, they're saying Max is blacker than you. And Stephen A. was like, hold it right there. That's a line that is being crossed. We're not doing that. All this stuff is so
that whole situation is ridiculous.
You could
let it go. If he was good enough to be signed, he'd be signed. I don't think he's good enough. I
didn't see that.
You can tell Max, that was Max's proudest moment ever. Max was like,
I think that teams, they look at Kaepernick and see like, he could play or at least be a backup.
Too much of a distraction.
But like the media attention and the drama he brings to they're like, it's not worth it to us. So that's why he's not playing, I think.
And he hasn't played for 3 years. Why would you stick him back in the heat of a game?
And like honestly, at this point, like the flag thing's over with. That's all gone and past. If he can still play, he'd be playing. But I think they know he's going to cause more problems.
Whatever team signs him, a lot of fans would be upset. That's why
I tell you, if I was Kaepernick, I wouldn't play either. Just sign contracts with Nike. Taking the money.
Yeah, he's not hurting.
Hang out.
He's not living in like a trailer park.
Build a following, you know?
So he's fine.
And
I think the world needs to move on collectively.
And he's his own worst enemy too, because the NFL set up a thing for him to do it, and he canceled it an hour before and said, I'm going to have my own workout out of high school 20 minutes away. The NFL was giving you a workout.
Yeah, and like that kind of debunks the whole narrative. Like the NFL has blacklisted him, or whatever. Like they're giving you a chance to come and work out for 25 teams, and you said no.
Yeah.
What do you want? What can they do at this point? They've given you opportunities to come work out for the team, can do. And nothing. So I mean, it's not really worth talking about anymore. Honestly, I think the world needs to just move on from that. If he's good enough to play, then go out there and put your head down and work and get onto a team.
So as we wrap up here, we mentioned our fantasy football league in the
we did
throughout the show. I'm going to put our standings up on the screen right now, edit it in. Do you have the standings?
Is that
on there?
me up top, number one?
Yeah, Elijah's number one. Do you have it up right now?
You're putting our standings in it?
Yeah, I'm going to put it up.
What are you right now?
6.
Why are you? Oh, you're still 6.
Yeah,
so okay. So you lost this week again?
Yeah, I'm on like a 3-game losing streak. Okay.
Well, first off, before this last weekend, I was number 2. But
the thing is though, every team is basically one game separated or within the same
within reason.
Yeah, it's within. No team is like far on head and toes above the other team.
Well, like just to show you this, like Carson is
the
highest scoring team in the league. He's ranked number 6. So
and I've lost 3 in a row.
And I beat Carson twice.
Yeah, good job.
Good job.
And I beat Christian by 0.2 points. He's not very good.
Christian is very stressed out this week because he has no running back to play.
There's a couple other things.
I'll trade him Kalen Ballage if he wants it.
Christian, if you're listening.
There's a couple other things.
Do you want Kalen Ballage? I'll trade you.
The trade deadline, actually.
Who is
today?
Who is Kalen Ballage?
He's the running back for the Dolphins. Wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The worst team.
I'll trade you Juju for him. I've been trying to get rid of Juju.
Do it. Come on.
No, dude. I'm not going to do it.
So the only teams that are kind of looking rough are Simon, Baker's Balls, and John Black. Yeah.
Yep. Not doing great.
Both 2 and 9.
I gotta say though.
Well, how's Ben Dover doing?
He's 6 and 5.
6 and 5.
He's the same as you guys are. Wow.
Oh wow.
Simon's very unlucky because last week I had my entire team on a bye almost. Like Russ Wilson on a bye, Jones, Henry,
and did he still
Hooper
lose?
On a bye. I beat him by like 75 points.
Oh my gosh!
It was bad because like all his players just didn't perform, and like Hill got hurt, and like, it just went very poorly. Yeah. He's very unlucky with his team.
I remember last year he had a tough time too, and he was kind of like fantasy sucks, whatever. So yeah, playoffs coming up soon. We'll let you guys know how it goes.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure at this point the only spot that hasn't been clinched is that number 8 spot. So John and Simon have to kind of get some wins here and knock out Andrew out of that 8th spot.
Yeah. Oh. So, Luke, I wanted to get your take real quick on this. You also have been a big Star Wars fan your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Elijah and I put out a predictions video a little bit ago. We talked about how we don't particularly enjoy all the stuff Disney has done. To me, Disney has taken Star Wars and made it what's a good story, what is let's make a good film too. This is a product. What can we do that makes the most people happy, which they didn't do with The Last Jedi, and makes the most money? They see it as dollar signs. They don't see it as the story that George Lucas saw it as.
Of course.
So what do you have any thoughts on Disney Star Wars, and are you excited for Episode 9 coming up?
Oh, of course I have some thoughts. So first off, I'm a prequels guy, so we're just going to start from the beginning.
I like the prequels, yeah.
Because Carson and I always have an argument. He says the originals are better.
I do. The originals are better, yeah.
I'm more a prequels fan, but
I love the prequels,
though. I went to The Force Awakens in theater. Don't go to the theaters a lot. It's very expensive.
This is rare.
Yeah, so they did reopen the dollar theater around here.
I had water in my mouth. Sorry, I couldn't talk. But yes, that's very true.
Yeah, but I actually like The Force Awakens a lot. I mean, I didn't like it as much as the originals or the prequels, but I didn't expect to because I grew up on those. But the Force Awakens, I really liked. It set up a really good movie. I was excited about it. Like that's a good movie. I'm definitely gonna come see the second one. So then I went to the theaters again because The Force Awakens brought me there, and Carson told me that Episode 8 was good. So I was like, all right.
No, I told you I didn't like it the first time I saw it.
You said the first time I liked that.
I didn't have
the first time I saw it, I didn't really like it, but I saw it again. It's pretty good. I was like, all right.
I saw it with you the second time. What happened was I saw it the first time, and I literally, when the movie ended, my face was the most like confused, disgusted thing ever, and I didn't want to say I didn't like it, and I tried because I
was there for that. I think I was there for that.
Because I had built up the hype for it so much, I didn't want it to be bad. So I saw it a second time and tried to watch it in a different perspective, and I was like, oh, that was great, yeah. But then, like, after thinking about it, and I watched it a third time, I was like, that was utter garbage, and I hated every single thing they did.
It was the worst miss in cinematic history.
The biggest missed opportunity in cinematic history. Luke Skywalker, possibly the greatest hero of all time, being on screen for the first time, really, if you don't count the end of Force Awakens, in the movie, in 30 years.
It was terrible. I hated the movie. They just started making things up. It's like they didn't even respect the series at all. Like,
yes!
They're like, oh, this is a cool movie idea. Let's just make up a bunch of new ideas that everybody can have special powers. And they just started giving people new powers.
They don't explain anything! Who is Snoke? Why is Rey
The characters weren't good. What's the girl you bought the action figure of?
Rose.
Oh my
god! Rose action figure?
I gave it to Christian for his birthday because he's a big fan of the character. He really likes her.
That's hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Christian... Terrible takes on Star Wars. I listened to the Star Wars episode with Christian on here, and he's putting Disney movies ahead of like the originals and stuff. He doesn't have good takes on about anything, but Star Wars was brutal, man. So
I would like to change my list too. I did really like Force Awakens, but thinking back on it and with thinking of it as more of a full trilogy, I now put Episode 1 and 2 ahead of Force Awakens because to me,
for sure,
I did that too, didn't I?
For sure,
Episode 7 is good, but what it did best was set up 8, and then 8 sucked, so that takes away its value. And it's a complete copy of Episode 4. There's nothing new in it. Best quote: George Lucas. They showed George Lucas Force Awakens right before it came out. There's nothing new. There's no new things in it. So
that's very good.
It's a good quote. It's a good quote.
Good job.
But best. Just to skip back, best Star Wars movie is Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Very good. Yes.
I really like that one.
I think that was my number 1.
I'm not excited for Episode 9 now because I'll probably watch it. I don't know if I'll go to the movies.
Will you come see it with us? I think I have an extra ticket for you.
I know. I haven't decided. I gotta see what I'm doing that day.
You should come see it, I think.
I don't know.
I have decided Episode 9. I
don't see how they can recover. What can they do to recover?
That's what I'm thinking. So when the hype starts building for Episode 9, I was like, I think that they're gonna fix it. To me, now what I've come to conclude, the movie can be as good as it wants. I think that they'll make a better movie than Episode 8 because J.J. Abrams kind of understands the fans a little more. And
I think it has to be better.
I think the ending will be really stupid, regardless of what they do, because the most obvious thing in the world is they're going to redeem Kylo. They're going to, and then they're probably just going to kill him. So what are you left with? You're left with Rey, who they haven't explained why she's powerful, just beating the crap out of the Emperor, who the Emperor's awesome. So I don't know. I don't think they're going to stick the landing on it, but we'll see what happens.
I don't see how they could. I mean, they've messed up too much Episode 8 to really make it recoverable. Episode 9, they can make it better. It'd be hard to make it worse.
Do you think? What do you think they're going to do with Palpatine? Do you like that they're bringing him back, or do you not think that?
I haven't looked a lot into the speculation and like theorizing what they're going to do. because I just don't really care.
I've heard some awful speculation.
I don't keep up with the Disney as much. I'm not into it. I was after Force Awakens, but after the last one, I'm not really into it.
What do you think? Have you seen Mandalorian yet?
I watched the first episode last night.
Did you like it?
I wasn't gonna get Disney Plus.
You got it?
I still didn't actually. Alyssa got it.
Oh, nice.
She wanted to watch Disney movies.
Mooching off the girlfriend, classic.
Yeah. So I don't get the streaming service. It's just a bunch of old Disney movies.
It's like everything. It's like every single
They got
I know, but I'm not
Star
into
Wars, all the
superhero
Avengers.
movies
Oh, okay.
like Carson, and I'm not into
like
watching.
Carson, like all of America's into superhero
I'm not into
movies.
superhero movies. The only thing I'm into is like Star Wars.
They got National Geographic on there if you want to watch that instead. So
That might be a selling point for me, but
yeah, Nat Geo Wild, man.
But so the Mandalorian, it's pretty cool.
Did you watch? I have not watched the third episode that just dropped. They said the third episode is really, really good.
I only watched the first.
The second one, I think you like. The second one has a lot of Jawas in it.
It's got Baby Yoda in it.
And did you like Baby Yoda? Do you like that?
Wait. I meant to ask someone this. Is that actual Yoda or is it just someone?
No, because this takes place after
it's
episode
after?
6. So it's
Okay.
just a baby of his species.
Okay.
And what I think, like people who have been watching, that doctor in the first episode has a cloning patch on his shoulder. So they think the Empire wants Baby Yoda to clone it. So obviously they're not going
Ooh.
to, so that's their bad plan. But I think that's pretty cool they put Baby Yoda in there.
So far, I'll definitely continue to watch it. It hasn't done anything terrible yet.
I got Disney Plus last night, so I didn't get to watch The Mandalorian, but I'm going to.
I also
think it
watched
maybe.
Dr. Dolittle. Did not hold up for expectations. I hadn't watched it since I was like 6
They're
years
making
old.
a new one with Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Dolittle.
Why?
I don't know. They wanna make a new
Why?
one.
That's such a random
Go
casting.
from
but,
Iron Man to Dr. Dolittle.
but yeah, I didn't hold up. I was like, why is it a bunch of animals talking? This isn't that fun. It was more fun when I was 6. So
Yeah, I get
More
that.
fun when I was 6. So, also, Jedi Fallen Order came out, the new video game. You haven't played it, have you?
Mm-mm.
You have. I know you
haven't
didn't
played
buy it. It is really fun. Like it is. It's not like any of this because it happens in between 3 and 4. It's basically this Jedi that was in hiding and then they found him out. Now he's on the run. It's. Have you ever played Uncharted? It has a lot of like the climbing mechanics of Uncharted.
Mm-mm.
It's a lot of open world stuff. It's like you can run around and do other
Ooh.
stuff. You can customize
is it
your
like
lightsaber.
Knights of the Old Republic?
I have never played that. So.
Ooh, it's
But like
original.
you can customize your lightsaber and make it. You can get a double blade. It's really cool. So I recommend checking it out. The
If it
story's
goes on
really good.
sale, I might buy it.
The story's really good. They have a lot of like OG like prequel stuff.
Are there any like online features? Or?
No, it's just campaign.
That's
Oh,
cool.
so I don't need PSN to play it?
No.
Interesting.
Looks like there's
Very
savings.
Yes.
So Elijah, I know we're big Rick and Morty fans.
Oh, yeah,
that
of
season's
course.
come out. You've seen the first 2 episodes, right?
Yeah, first two.
I think very funny. I love what they're doing with it. Have you watched the first 2 episodes?
No.
Oh, you need to. Well, that's pretty good.
Do you like Rick and Morty?
Yeah. I haven't watched the new one, so.
They're really funny.
The first one was fun. The best moment in that one though was whenever he comes out because he keeps dying. I don't want to spoil it for you.
I don't care.
Okay, well,
I don't care.
The purpose of this show is Rick keeps dying
Hmm.
and he like regenerates in like a different alternate universe.
Yeah.
And the second one he does, he comes out back at this. Okay, I can set it up actually. The first one he comes back, and it's like a bunch of fascists. It's like they're all fascists and all like Nazi supporters. And so he eventually dies in that world because he's not a fascist. So he's like he goes to another universe. He's like in a shrimp world. Like he's a shrimp now apparently.
Okay. I
And
can go aboard.
he's like, oh, at least you guys aren't fascists, right?
And then the one just gives him a look like
And then it cuts like a different scene. He's like running away from fascists. He gets
fascist shrimp.
Fascist
and they
shrimp.
beat the crap out of him and kill him.
He's like, why is this the default? And it's super funny. Second one, that one was a little bit weird, honestly.
The second, I love Jerry
toilet
though.
one?
Yeah,
Don't.
yeah. Do not develop the app. And Jerry just immediately was like 50-50 last offer.
Yeah. It's a good episode though. It's a little bit weird. The toilet thing was a little bit weird.
Last one I
But,
watched was when the kid gets trapped in like her made up universe and
Oh, Beth. Yeah,
and they think
and the guy
they
was.
think his dad ate him or whatever,
Yeah.
and then that one kind of threw me off a little bit. I haven't watched it
he
since.
was yeah, because the. He has incest
way he
with all of
survives,
the, yeah,
yeah.
he goes. I'm thinking that we have dinner and then I will have sex with you.
hearing,
yeah, well, and then he eats the children.
Yeah,
hearing us talk about the show, it makes it seem really stupid and
it's very intellectual.
It does, especially when you guys quote the intergalactical television. Or
Oh, I
whatever.
love it. Real fake doors.
that's Good episode.
My mom and sister watched the first episode with me because I had it recorded. I had to go back and watch it later. And they were just downstairs. So I was like, I'm watching my show. If you guys want to like hang out with me, I gotta watch my show.
You watched that with your mom?
Yes. My mom told me that it was the stupidest thing she's ever seen in her life, and that I should be mature enough to know not to watch that.
Yeah. Leah.
So too bad, Mom.
Leah watched it with me, and she was, shall we say, unimpressed with the Rick and Morty.
Lynn tried to watch a few episodes, and she said she wasn't all that into it.
Alyssa didn't like it either, guys.
No, she's...
All
Shocker
girlfriends here.
of all shockers. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, I'm going to go home right after this, and I'm going to watch The Mandalorian Episode 3, because they said it's really good. I think there might be some Obi-Wan stuff in it. I don't know.
Ooh, and the
Did
new
you know that they're
Mandalorian?
making an Obi-Wan
Yeah, you told me.
show? I think that's going to be really good.
Ewan McGregor,
Yeah,
right?
I think it's
I'll
gonna be
definitely
good.
watch that because he's probably my favorite character in Star Wars.
I wanted to get your take on this too, Luke. Episode 9, I think, is going to be... Look at this. Is Hayden Christensen going to be in it?
I hope so.
I hope so, too.
I'm a big fan of Hayden Christensen, unlike anyone else.
He's been showing up a lot recently, too. Like, he came to Star Wars Celebration. He was at the park recently. I think they might throw him in there.
I loved him in Star Wars. I don't know why you don't, and you say that the
I like
internet-
him.
You said that in episode 2, he was super cringy.
I said that some of his... That's a lot to do with his lines that George Lucas wrote. The whole thing with the sand. Like, oh, I hate sand.
I hate
It's
sand.
everywhere.
It's
It's everywhere.
everywhere.
It has nothing to do with Hayden Christensen. It's George Lucas, who... I love George Lucas. He probably shouldn't write scripts. He's not the greatest script writer. But other than that, like, I would rather have him get Star Wars back.
Right. Now, he can do anything he wants, so I'm okay with it. I like the lines. I thought Hayden was great. He's great in Jumper as well, the only other movie he's in, I believe.
I think he likes Mandalorian because the guy that he like self-appointed, Dave Filoni, is doing that, and Jon Favreau is doing that. That Kathleen Kennedy lady doesn't know what she's doing.
The Mandalorian thing, are they ever going to take their helmets off?
I'm sure at some point. At some point.
Because I feel like that's kind of dumb that you just wear a helmet everywhere.
Do you think Boba Fett's ever going to show up? I think they could say he climbed out of the Sarlacc pit.
They could.
I think that'd be cool.
That'd be
That's your favorite
Is it
character,
canon?
isn't it? They've never said.
Actually, when I was younger, I think Boba Fett was my favorite for a while, and I switched to Jango Fett because I like the silver.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very, very creative. This is our longest episode of Hot Takes ever. So we've
Ooh.
hit 135.
Record. This is like the
basically.
Alex Jones episode.
Yes, the interdimensional aliens. They had to take LSD to communicate with them.
Oh yeah.
You said you listened to that entire podcast, didn't you?
Oh yeah, actually,
That's the funniest thing
actually
on earth.
multiple times. That's my favorite podcast of all time.
You listened to
that
that
one.
whole thing? How long was it?
It's like over 3 hours, I think.
Why would you listen to it?
Not all at one time. You
Uh-huh.
listen in segments.
Listen to what?
The whole Alex Jones,
The Joe Rogan,
thing.
Alex
Oh,
Jones
God.
podcast.
Nice.
See, you just gotta listen to it. Play Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 on the Xbox 360.
Oh my gosh.
Even though it's made for original Xbox, you can't have a better time than that.
That's it.
Yeah.
So,
that's it.
Luke, do you want to give out your social media for people to follow you?
Man, what is it? I think it's
What's your Instagram?
Luke _ Martin
Wow.
with 2 underscores in the middle.
Great
of
guy.
Luke and
Thank you
Martin.
for coming on the show.
Hey,
Really,
Yeah, thanks, bud.
Thanks
really
for having me,
appreciate
guys.
it.
You did great. Wow.
Really enjoyed it.
And
Great
graduating like next week, aren't you? Like
I am,
whenever you come
yeah.
back. Congratulations!
Hey,
What a
so
guy! Really proud.
Yeah.
Wow,
Where's my congrats at? Well, thank you.
Very
Great.
proud of you.
Look
Great.
at if anybody's got any job opportunities, reach
Yeah,
out.
ditto for me. Thanks.
We can bring you on the Hot Take staff. We don't pay much, but
Ooh.
if you want to market us and get the word out,
It is my only offer.
We
so.
still have yet to make $1 off the show. That's our goal. We're gonna make $1
If
one
anybody
day.
wants to sponsor us, let us know.
You can Venmo us. How does Venmo work?
How does Venmo?
Is Venmo?
You
Just
actually
search us.
can put out just your Venmo username, and people can just send you money.
I think I'm Cardiac323. Send me money.
I forgot mine.
It's okay. I'll give you half or whatever. we
Thanks.
get.
Appreciate that.
Support the show. So this is kind of like our Thanksgiving one. Obviously, no episode next week. Elijah's going to Florida, which
Wow,
is,
yes.
if you watch Big Mouth Season 3, a great state
Yeah.
full of...
Also a great show that we shouldn't talk about on this show.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see you guys whenever to talk about more NFL stuff, talk about how Mason Rudolph is being just attacked by everyone in the league. Let's hope Rudolph can go this week without getting injured or and assaulted.
Put in Devlin Hodges.
Sue him. We're going to sue
Devlin.
Myles Garrett. So I guess we'll talk to you guys
At a
later.
later date.
Thanks for listening. Email
Happy
us
Thanksgiving.
happy Thanksgiving. We got to celebrate how we got America. It's America.
Oh my god.
Do you want to see your favorite quote?
My favorite quote.
Go ahead.
What is it?
Oh, from what? I'm sorry.
From Big Mouth.
Big Mouth.
Oh, the Indians gave us Native America for Thanksgiving, and no backsies. They can't be Indian givers.
Oh, what
So-
a show. What a program.
So happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Hope your teams do well. Fantasy football
Go Cowboys.
and all that. Go Steelers. We're not going to make the playoffs, but
Hey,
oof.
we're not really secure either, so
Oof.
Ciao.
All right. See you guys.